Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another Talk Your Face Off. I'm going to be going solo for a little bit as we wait for Pablo to show up. He's currently off at the movies with his family, and the movie was a little bit longer than he thought it was going to be. So he's going to be running a little bit late, but that's all good. We're going to just proceed and talk about some things that we've got going on. I can talk a little bit about the Hall Brothers racing event that just happened and all the video footage and stuff we have from that to show you guys coming up here soon. Oh, got some new Fuertech stuff in. Shoot, I left it back there. Shoot. So we'll have that going in just a minute. But yeah, he's coming on in just a minute. Just driving home. But yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff. I'll probably go through a little bit of kind of a recap, and then we'll get going. Give me just 1 second, you guys, so that I can just go grab the thing on the back there. Alrighty, I am back and I've brought my goodies. Got it all ready. I've been running it all this afternoon and having fun with it. If you guys saw them posted on Instagram, but I've had it kind of built up and working with it for a little bit, doing the battery up to the top now because I haven't really figured out a better way to do it. I thought as I was talking about it on my podcast today that these bars down here would make something good for it, but I don't think so. I think it's better up at the top. Won't focus. Just strapped up there. It's a little bit close down on the bottom to the drive shaft. If we were to slip, it would be problematic. So that's kind of the one thing with these is some of the placement of things is a little bit of an afterthought. You've got to figure out your own way around. It would be pretty easy, actually, if there was a bar across almost like a dashboard here. Then you could, put a plastic plate or something, make a little battery tray, something, but there's not that support up there in the front, easy to drop the battery on. So this thing's awesome. It's titanium. People are saying, oh, it's so heavy, putting all that metal up there. It's actually very light, and having a little bit of weight anyway just helps the suspension work as you're running it, but it's pretty fantastic. This thing is quick. It's smooth. This Greyhound motor is way more than powerful for it. And yeah, I mean, this is running the other thing is I'm running the Ultimate ESC. So whenever I plug it in, I have to be able to reach in here and flip this little on button. And I don't have, my chubby fingers can't do it. I probably should have pushed it forward before I taped it down so I could just kind of reach in there and click it on. But as it is right now, I have to have like a mighty handy tool in my pocket to reach in there and power it on. But very awesome. Owen's in the house. I saw Owen this weekend at the Raminator show down in Illinois. What an awesome event. Also got to meet and hang out with Garrett from LVC RC. Awesome dude. Very, very good at RC monster truck freestyle and just in general. The Trigger King crew are fast. We had a good time. I got to drive my Rapid X for the first time in my Axis retro chassis, both from Freestyle RC, and they were cool, but I did not do super good with either because it was literally the first time I got to drive them, and I didn't even get to really test them at all. Even there's not a whole lot of room to really open it up. So they just randomize the brackets and they just start. There's no qualifying. There's no nothing to get kind of a feel for it. It's just go. So it wasn't the best scenario for having a new truck, but oh well, I had to try it. So it was worth going for it. Who we got in here? XJ Sport 95, George, what's up, peeps? Chainsaw, Jeff Brown, Francis, Frank, the Tank. Owen Rogers already said. Looks like 12th scale. This don't look like 12th scale. This is straight up 24 scale or FMS FCX24 scale. But you could easily put a 24 scale body on here, and these are small 24 scale bodies right here. So it's running the Portals FCX. It's tiny. It's a Gravedigger model body just slapped right on there. So it's the same as the Cayman, the Fuertech Cayman setup that they've got. So links and all that are off of that, which make it really good for the shocks on the trailing arm. So you can do the 4 shocks around. The shocks actually, plastic bodies, friction shocks feel awesome for it, honestly. Decent, easy movement flex. It's not like Cape Crawler's flex by any means, but it's decent for what you want it to be with a rock bouncer. Farmington, Minnesota. Brent, what's going on? Curtis D, Mirror Deep. Did you get some real heat up there in the studio? I have. Well, you can't see it. That little white thing there is one of those little radiators with the oil in them. I just leave it on. So it's warm enough that I'm short sleeved right now, but it's cool. It's not hot by any means. I just have it set to medium and it just runs all day. So it's not the perfect case scenario, but it's doing. Bull Gear, what's going on? I did post videos of this, guys, as well to Instagram finally today, and they were the magical unboxing. I think I posted it here to Facebook as well. The whole thing where people throw the boxes, and it's so formulaic. Like, I'm so bored with social media, honestly. I keep coming to YouTube to watch stuff because there's personality here, there's information here, and the community here, I think, is the best community. So yeah, I'm so over the gimmick stuff that doesn't do anything for me anymore. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. No matter what it is they're showcasing, it all looks the same on Instagram and TikTok. So, and we're bringing it here. So, what it is. I'll play the game a little, but I hate it. I absolutely hate where society is going with it all, honestly. But yes, it is what it is. It's what people, I guess, want to see when they zone out. So I would prefer to have information. I would prefer to learn. I would prefer a whole lot of things. I would prefer to be entertained, laugh, something. Speaking of laugh, I watched that Spirited movie on Apple with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, and man, oh man, good afternoon, you guys. We had an awesome time watching that and just laughed. Oh my gosh, there's a baby. Good afternoon. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you should subscribe to Apple TV for 1 month and watch it. It's like your rental fee. You'll maybe thank me later, maybe not. It was a good time. For a Christmas movie, it was good. And it's just this, it's kind of a interesting take on A Christmas Carol, Dickens. So yeah. The Mr. 1998 Jeep Cherokee, the shop that you sent me still has a TRX-4M Bronco in stock. In stock. All right, everybody. Tomorrow morning we're gonna have a race. We're going to say the address of the shop at tomorrow. What time do they open? Mr. 1998 Jeep Cherokee, we should post the address to this place. It's a certain time tomorrow morning, and then see who can get there and get it first. I think we should make a game out of it, like the race. And then we'll all take bets on who's going to get there and get to it first, because I think that would be fantastic. It'd be like Rat Race, but for TRX-4M. And I'll get there early. I'll make sure I'm there when the doors open and I'm filming to show who shows up first to get it. I think that'd be a great show. We can do some comedy while we wait for people. But yeah, it'd be great. It'd be even better to live stream the whole thing. So I'm full of great ideas, Mr. 1998 Jeep Cherokee. Oh, Mr. Bean's character. I was gonna call that though, because I want to be the narcoleptic. I prefer to sleep. Okay, that'll be Dane. 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 Mr. Tongue piercing guy. Hey, with heavy. If you guys haven't seen Rat Race, I highly recommend that as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I've got a whole bag of stuff I've got here I could go through. I've got something uber special here in the mail for having the coolest UTB 18 on the block. Can you guys guess what would make it the coolest UTB 18 on the block? If I just kind of do this, if I give you a little bit of that going on, what is in my hand that would make it the coolest UTB 18? We'll just leave that for a minute and we'll talk about something else. Oh, this is a good one. Scale Metal Supplies roof racks with their logo very intricately cut out of here. These look baller. Kind of like a matte finish to it. I dig it. This is going to go on the top of my Ecto. So that's something new. Owen Rogers, I'm going to get there first. Watch and see. Right? Bull Gear, I should have bought all the TRX-4Ms the shop had that I got mine at. I could have sold them to you all with a finder's fee. Yeah, people are getting raked over the coals for that on the faces book. I would have to start an anonymous eBay to do that. Yeah, the Defender's where it's at. I actually have another one pre-ordered, but I actually want a white one. Also, have you guys seen on eBay? You can get the people are chopping them, the Defenders, and selling them on there. It's really cool. Let's see if I can pull one up. I just searched for TRX4 because I was curious what people were doing as far as pricing on them on eBay. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let me get off of this page. Okay, I'm on a safe page. I'm ordering bunches of stuff. I want to make sure I don't have any info, any deets out there. All right, let's do this. TRX4M. See what we get. Headlights, taillights. Here's one for $260. Way cheaper than what I just did for mine. $215 plus $20 shipping. Wow, new open box. $275. $299. People are asking for it. They know what they got. Now on here there were people that were selling them with like chopped bodies, and they were super cool. I put a bid in on one and I did not win. I thought I put in a pretty good bid on it, honestly, and I wasn't even close to winning. People paid a fortune for it. See if this does it. We're chopping these Defender bodies and they look awesome, and then reselling them that way. I don't see any. That one's painted. Came with the light kit and everything. Bummer, it's not here to show you guys. I tried to win one that I'd have showed you in a video, but they're not here. They ain't here. Try completed items. That's not a bad idea. There it is. Haha, you are a genius. I don't know how to use eBay very well. This is the one that I'd bid on. Dang nabbit. There it is. Look at how good that looks. Put a little bed in here. I probably would have done this black like a rhino or like a tonneau cover, but pretty cool. Not gonna lie, I like it. Came with a light kit. 145 for it. Not bad. Hey Tony, what do you think of the Fuertech Lizard Ultimate, or anyone in the chat? I think it's awesome. I think the added voltage you can get from the BEC is good. The power for it's great, and the only thing about it is that you have to be able to push the button to turn it on and off. So unlike the other ones that have, you can have like the pigtail coming off it to plug your battery into and like kind of tuck that in there and leave it switched on. These ones now have an on off switch, and it doesn't remember what the setting was when you last used it, which would be cool if it did. If you could just unplug the battery and it would remember when you plug it in again and just turn on. But no, you've got to be able to access the little button to turn it on. It's just a little tap in, which isn't a big deal. But the plus side of that is I think it's supposed to not drain your battery more when you actually do turn it off. But I don't know. I haven't tried that. I don't bother trying that kind of stuff. I wonder as I'm lying, I'll be in bed. Oh, I missed that. Where do we get cool roof racks like that for the 24s? Well, the Bronco comes with one ish, and the Jeep Gladiator kind of comes with one with a whole bunch of stuff on it. Other than that, you probably either have to 3D print one or make it out of metal yourself. But yeah. What up, VNB Speed? Speaking of 3D printing, I still have more stuff. I couldn't bring my 3D printer out here to show you as a open boxing, but I did print this Chevy body on the 3D printer and this grill. It's, I think Flubber Stuffers actually made it and put it up there, but that actually printed separate and actually clicks in there pretty well. But you'd glue it in place once you're done and paint it a different color. But I mean, it clicks in there pretty good. But there's this little bump out here for like the turn signal, but on this side it doesn't have it. It has a hole. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, the printer itself did an amazing job. The Prusa, basically, I just tell it to go and I don't think about it. It does an amazing job. The lines are tight and clean and just, it's a very fantastic print. A little heavy for this one. They made the walls pretty thick. Probably could have been a third of the thickness that it is, but I mean, it ain't gonna break, that's for sure. But I'd rather do like a cage on the rear of that instead of the bed that they've got for it, but we'll see. Hey, Dave says I would always disconnect my lipos. I agree. That's what I always do. CC Hand makes some as well. CC Hand 24th roll cage. Okay, I see a few here. For those that are wondering. So this is one of the CC Hand ones They're 3D printed, but there's different models. These are just more roof rack style. See what else they have in here through A-Main. There we go. Here's some cage stuff. These are bigger scale. But it looked like they did have a few things for 24 scale. Oh, it looks like a lot of it's for the bigger size. Here's the 124 scale model. This is showing you how to do it. But yeah, I'm sure you could just Google some of them and find them. CC Hand makes all the nice plastic. Okay. I was inspired to buy Fuertech from you and receive my Lizard Pro and Rocket Man. Unfortunately, I'm having an issue with my ESC for some reason at 30% throttle. It gets really jerky. Is that running the Godzilla motor, Goopy Man? I actually turn off freewheeling too on them. Yeah, so I turn off the freewheeling feature if it's turned on. I don't feel like it actually helps it freewheel. That's really more of a feature of the Uh-oh. Did I just kill my avatar? Made a ding noise and then there it is. Mine are pretty smooth. The only ones that I had issue with was, and there was also one of the firmwares that was a little glitchy. So I'd make sure you have the newest one. I'm interested for sure in the Mini Z stuff. I saw the pictures of the new cards you have, and they look fantastic. I need to get in there and get my eyes on the different bodies options that are available. Let's see, yeah, even this one I got to get in here to touch.
Hey. Hello, Tony. Sorry to barge in.
No, you're good.
Ooh, look at that.
It's quick.
Whoa. That is awesome. So, I'm late.
You're late. How was your movie? You're
by a week and a half.
Sick.
Yeah, I got my cough drop in. Try not to hack all over the microphone here.
Yeah. You've had a lot of time to work on things because you haven't been doing anything.
Yeah, I wish. I know. I talked to KLN and I was like, bro, I didn't even feel like looking at my phone for a while. So I wasn't doing much of anything until today. So we are in the clear, no longer sick. So we decided to run and go see a movie because we haven't been out of the house since the 11th.
Yeah.
12th, what day was that? Friday. We haven't been out of the house really since then. So we were like, let's go. So we went to go see a movie. I sat down. I checked to see how long this movie was. And it was 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Actual movie or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we went to go see the new Black Panther.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Bro, have you seen it yet?
No. Looks awesome.
cinematic AF.
Yeah.
It was, dude, it was.
That's how I felt about Spirited, just so you know.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good though,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It was a very good movie, but it was not cinematic. It was very dancey and
Yeah, I wasn't a big I'm not a big fan of that style of movie,
yeah.
but it kept me entertained.
Yeah. Well, Good Afternoon was the highlight
I
of the
know,
whole
I know.
thing. Yeah.
We're saying that all the time now too.
Right.
We're like, "Good afternoon."
Yeah.
So it was such a good tribute movie to Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, that's what I
Uh,
keep hearing.
Dude, the beginning, it was just like perfect. And it was almost like a moment of silence. It was awesome. And then at the end, it was really good too. Um, but the movie itself was cool. You know what was really cool too? And I don't think this will give anything away, but uh the other team, I guess, in this movie
Their team.
was it was a what's the word I'm looking for? It was a culture from like Mayan and Aztec times, which for me, being Mexican, you've never seen that in an action in like a movie like this. I mean, maybe Apocalypto, but I mean, the idea that they brought that into it was super rad. Just the idea that it's like bringing a different culture into things and paradigming it against another culture of like the African cultures and stuff like that. It was really cool. So that was really neat. It held the test all the way through until the last 5 minutes, and then they had to check the last box. And I think you know what I'm talking about because we've talked about it before. And I was like, really? Like,
It went woke.
was that? Well, and it wasn't that bad. It like my wife was like, it was just a little doop. But I'm like,
Yeah.
but they had to do it. Like they had to do it. And I was just like, come on, man.
They
Like
did the
there
same
was,
thing with Spirited at the end with the
yeah,
walking Will Ferrell and the girl walking
right,
and
right,
then at the very end
right.
and with the multiple holidays instead of just being a Christmas movie, it became a
Yeah,
let's do it for
everybody.
all. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But this wasn't like it was very blunt, but it was like it was kind of that last 5 seconds. Only was like a 2 second scene. That's all it was. Just a little boop. And I was like, really? Like, was that necessary? I don't think so. But it didn't change the movie for me. It was just kind of like, oh, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like jumping the shark just a little bit. But super awesome. It was worth the 3 hours of sitting in a movie theater.
Yeah.
But it was good.
240 minutes or 2 hours and 40 minutes?
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay.
Almost 3 hours.
Okay.
It was a long one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was only one. You know how sometimes those movies you feel like this should end now and this is a second movie kind of a thing.
Yeah.
There really wasn't that in this movie. It just kept going. So
Yeah.
that was good. But
yep.
So what's new?
We should talk about monster trucks, the TRX-4s,
Yes.
and what we want to do.
Yes. Yes. And thank you for helping me get mine. Sorry, as soon as I got mine, I was like, I can't move. I can't breathe.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to do anything with it until
Pablo
today.
got uber sick. His whole family did.
Yeah, we got super sick, man. So
yeah. So he's been out of commission. And that was like literally since you got the TRX-4M, like right after it.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I picked it up at
job.
Yeah. I picked it up Friday night, and then my wife and I both had a crazy fever and chills that Friday night. And we're just sick for days after that.
Maybe
so, that's the worst.
Maybe the sickness was on the box.
Yeah, I know, right? No, my daughter was getting sick before that. But that's the crazy thing. As a parent, when both of you go down at the same time, it's like normally one sucks and you help each other out that way, but we were both down at the same time,
Mm.
like completely KO'd. So that was tough, but no, I'm excited for this monster truck action. Look at
We
you.
are going to be doing some kind of a little monster truck competition with these. So we both had to get them,
Mhm.
and we're leaving them stock-ish. We said stock motors, speed motor,
Yep.
speed
For now.
gearing, I guess. Speed gearing. Yeah, for
Yeah.
this one competition thing, we're kind of going a little bit easy on so we can kind of match them a little, but
Yeah.
yeah. So we're gonna put monster truck tires on, do some kind of a little freestyle comp with
Yep.
these. Do you have yours near you or no?
I do, but I don't have that body on mine.
Well, you don't have to have this body on. I just stuck
Did
this
you
on.
see the picture that I sent you
I did.
of my
I
model
didn't want
body?
to. Yeah, I didn't want to be the guy making you get kicked out of the hearse. I
Yep,
love
look
it.
at that. It fits perfectly. So I have to figure out how to mount it. But yeah, it fits awesome. What tires did you end up going with on yours?
So I have the Renegades
Oh, those are awesome.
on mine.
Those are awesome.
So they have an
I
awesome look to them. They're like the right width, and I
yeah,
have the Mofo tires actually on this though, and they're pretty awesome too.
that's what I have right now. Sorry, I'm gonna try to remember to hit the cough button every time I've got a cough, but
It's a little wider for the J Concepts and shorter, so they kind of
uh-huh.
have a little bit more, I don't know, scale look. But I love how these balloon out. These are like an older looking tire to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like the golden years.
Yeah, I was gonna say golden year.
Yeah.
So I haven't really done anything to mine except I just cheated the shocks down, which gives me terrible drive shafts angle
Oh
on
yeah.
them so bad because I need to drop the cradle. So I need to make a 3D printed mount of some sort that just drops everything down and mounts that would bolt into the chassis and just drop it, I guess,
Uh-huh.
and then allow it to bolt in again here. So
Well, I was thinking about that when you mentioned that to me. That's not going to change your pinion angle though.
yeah, it'll drop the motor and everything down and the links. All it's gonna
Oh,
do
I
is
see what you're
it's gonna
saying.
ride up the chassis higher.
I thought you were just yeah, okay.
So
I
yeah,
see what
it'll
you're saying.
drop the whole motor plate and everything down.
Okay. I thought you were just wanting to drop the links down. I was like, that's not going to do nothing.
No, I mean ideally it would drop everything down and tuck it in,
Mhm.
kind of like they do with the real ones. They'll do the cradle underneath.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm interested. I have some prints going right now that might help with shocks um, and relocating them.
yeah,
So we'll see how that works. I'll try that and see how it works, and then if it works out well, then
I mean honestly, I could leave the shocks where they were
mhm.
if I mounted the body higher. That's the other option.
Yeah.
Is
Oh, to
just
go with a
lifting the
stock
body.
body.
So yeah, if we made shock mounts like these
Hmm.
that had a brace across the top
Yeah.
that were one piece,
Yeah.
and then we could just actually
That's
just be
kind
able
of
to Velcro down or something, but something where
so.
you'd have a mount across the front and back.
So the ones I am printing uh, will actually. The first concept is just to get them proof of concept, and then I'm plan on doing a bridge going across it because I want to mount
Mhm.
mine with Velcro or magnets.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get it like where they need to be, then I'll add that other part and figure out how to do it.
Right.
I didn't do it on the first round just because I wasn't sure how much clearance I was going to need for the servo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and that's the other problem. If you drop it like I'm doing with the cradle, the servo smacks the rails on the
Oh yeah.
inside because it drops it down. So
Uh-huh.
the angle of the servo is more at,
Are you just trying
so
to get higher belly clearance?
I was just trying to lift it so I could get the
That
tires to
body on it?
clear this body with it clipped in.
Yeah.
So that was the idea was, man, it could be kind of cool to just run one of their bodies clicked
Yeah.
in, you know, but, and
Yeah.
it
But
looks
the
cool. I mean, but one is trying to get clearance so that it would turn when under,
yeah,
but I
it
mean, it's
keeps on
pretty
hitting.
cool. It works.
Would
It's
I
got
hit
decent speed.
the back bumper, the tires? Because
No.
when I was looking at it, they were hitting the back bumper, but I
Yeah.
didn't drop
Fully,
mine like yours.
fully to the side. Yeah. But most time it wasn't when it was jumping, whatever. When you, I guess if you land on a side, it would rub,
Yeah.
but I could take the bumper off easy enough.
I was surprised. Have you put in your speed motor yet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't done that yet. And I was surprised on the carpet. I could go forward to reverse or reverse to forward
Yeah.
and wheel stand like nobody's business. I
Yep.
was really surprised about that and pretty, I thought it was pretty neat to be able to do that.
Yeah. And, well,
I
those
think there's a
tires you
lot of
have on are
potential.
super sticky too, right?
Hmm.
Those mofo tires are really grippy.
They
So,
chatter a lot though on the linoleum or
oh
on the
yeah.
wood floor. Oh yeah, like when you're trying to turn, it's like
Uh,
doesn't want to do it. So yeah, man, I'm excited for this one. We'll have to figure out some jumps and figure out a way to. I was already thinking about making a little shipping container to do some backflips off of. I
nice.
I don't know if it's got, especially with that big body that I got. I don't know if it'll have it in it to do a backflip, but
I don't think it has the speed. It'd
now
have to be
even with
like
the
a
speed
full
motor,
speed. I don't think so.
yeah,
It'd have to be a full speed hit and just have the right pop.
just send it. Yeah.
So it's quick, but it's not like, I mean, this is definitely the speed motor. It's that light gray case, and it
Yeah.
didn't seem crazy.
Huh. Was it not a big difference from from the stock one?
No, it's a difference, but it's not like, whoa, like,
Okay.
yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah. You're like,
it's
"Yeah, that's
quicker.
cool." Well, I could
Oh, I
catch
was looking
air
at this
a
wire,
little
being like,
bit.
what happened? And I forgot I cut it.
Oh, no, for the headlights?
Yeah, the fog light in that video where I
Yeah.
clipped it. I'm looking at it like, what is happening? I cut it with scissors. That was what happened.
Crawler Space
But
says he has his on brushless.
yeah,
I saw a Fuertech post. I don't know if it was on Instagram or where it was, but they said stay tuned or said something like
yeah,
that.
they're doing theirs, but they're making it so it has the right pinion for it,
Mm,
so it'll match. You'll be able to
gotcha.
buy it with a pinion that works.
Nice. Yeah, I think 3S on this with a brushless would be pretty all right.
Yeah.
Like it should boogie. Have you made a I saw RC Review was talking about I just saw it, but I wasn't able to really watch it, making a uh adapter for the batteries.
For other batteries to work with it to that
Mhm.
ESC.
Yeah,
No, but I guess you could do it if you had something to trick it that it has the plug in it,
right.
the
Well,
wires.
that's what it was. It was the plug that was plugged in, and then it had a whip coming off of it
Yeah.
that you plugged in another battery. And I was like, "Ooh, that would be nice.
Hmm.
Get a little bit more pop out of it." I'm actually surprised. I haven't really driven a whole lot just because we haven't really been up to it, but the battery charge time didn't seem terrible.
It didn't now for 750. I think it had some with it. Like when I got out of the box, it drove for a bit before I
Yeah.
had to charge it. So
Yeah, it didn't seem too bad, so I was, pleased with that. Just need to find the hot in the ground, he says. I don't know that it's that easy. I don't know.
it's that It's that extra wire that they add
Right.
that it is looking for. Like if you unplug that extra wire, it doesn't work. That third
Well,
wire.
I'm wondering if you can just bridge them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put them
Which one you
together.
bridge it to? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're not gonna, if there's only 3, so you'd bridge the 2 black ones, and that should make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I could run a voltmeter on it and see
Which is
which one
which?
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That way I'm not burning myself up. You see all the stuff that Associated's been coming out with in the
I
last
did. That
week
new
and a half?
that new on-road looks pretty cool.
Dude, there's like 3 of them. 2 of them? 3 of them? They just came out with a rally car today, the 240 yesterday, and then that's the 14B, so the 14th scale unicorn.
Yeah. Well, that was a while ago that they announced that last week or something.
Yeah,
You weren't here, so
I know. I was barely looking.
incapacitated. Yeah,
Yeah,
14R.
yeah,
The Apex A550 rally car that looked cool,
yep,
and then the Datsun. Yeah.
yep. That 240 is pretty sick. And the other thing that I think is nice about these.
They almost look like hazard wheels on that thing.
Yeah, yeah. So the thing that I like about these, that I think people, if people buy them, will be appreciated, is the part support. Out here, trying to find phaser parts. I mean, you never break them, but to upgrade them, trying to find phaser parts is super hard.
Right.
Super hard. And the idea that you can get factory team and parts that are designed for that Apex is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like that. I like the rally car a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that could be a lot of fun. I wish they had more than one livery though, because it'd be a lot cooler if there was 2 of them, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so your friend could buy the other one and you could just straight up race them right away.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Joe RC Garage is asking about if we've heard any things coming from Horizon for Black Friday. Harley
There's
did
a
it.
lot of them coming. He just talked about a
Yeah.
bunch. Harley did
Yeah.
on
Yep.
Scale News Update.
Yep.
There's a bunch of stuff, some big ones.
Yeah, you could get that RC 4-wheel drive 24 for $69.
Yep.
Not that you would want to.
Right. I'll have some sales going too for people that want to get the Ultimate Fuertech Ultimate.
Is that what that thing's called?
This one, yeah. It's a 40 amp. And
Okay.
it has 3 BEC settings on it.
Really?
So yeah, it's higher voltage for your servos, and it's waterproof.
Reef's
Got an
just dropped a
aluminum
new one
case.
today. You see the new Reef servo today?
Yeah, the 100, the raw 100. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't
Yep.
really have anything that would fit in because
Yeah,
it's like
it's an odd size.
14 scale size. Yeah.
Yep. For the mini bees, I guess. Jem's Hobby said, I saw a video of running off the balance plug, run the extra wire to the white wire on the balance plug. Interesting.
And then you have to plug that to the battery. That's a little more confusing than I wanted to be. If somebody sells something that I can just plug and play, I'll do it. But
yeah,
that's too much work.
Yep.
I'll just buy Traxxas batteries.
Yeah. Yeah.
They fit in the tray. Just need them to come in stock.
Donovan's asking why the RC 4-wheel drive one's so bad. The
motor was terrible out of the box.
Yeah.
It was so bad they gave you another one with it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But
I
knew
who wants to get one and have to trade out the motor?
I heard it was super, super gutless. Like super gutless.
And what's crazy is it doesn't cost a whole lot to give it a little guts.
Right. Right.
So
For sure. I'm jonesing, man. I've had the bug to get out there and to play, and I just haven't. Like I went out yesterday or the day before and raked the track down, thinking I was gonna get out there, and I raked the track down, and I was like, "I'm going inside to lay down." Like, I had to go in and, like, go to
mm,
sleep because I was so tired after doing it, but I am jonesing to play. Um, we crawled a little bit with the Bronco, uh, just to try it out.
yeah, before
I
you
was
monster trucked it,
Yeah, so
it's impressive
it is very impressive.
for
Like,
a hard body.
dude, so there's and okay, I
Oh,
haven't
I
been in
was
the
asking earlier if people knew what I had to make my UTB the best UTB out there. I was just giving them a little glint
whoa,
of
whoa.
what it is.
So, I mean, obviously, I haven't been in the game or finger on the pulse in the last week and a half. So I don't know how much people have talked about how surprising this TRX-4M is, but I was surprised with the balance
Yeah.
and the predictability.
Yep.
So, in the little bit of crawling that we did, like when it would lift a wheel up, a front wheel, either going up a climb or stretching over, it felt pretty close to a 10th scale crawler, a scale
Mhm.
crawler, like reaching for that. Like it would actually,
It wasn't instant over either. Like some of them have nothing.
right, right. Like you could actually move the steering and stretch that wheel that was up out to balance and drop it down onto the thing. I was like, now I didn't think for the stock setup, it was pretty good. I think if you put a Fuertech setup in there, something that had a lot more low speed control, it would be pretty
Dude,
dynamite.
just their low speed gears
Did
is
that
a
make a
game
big
changer.
difference?
Oh, huge
Okay.
difference. Yep.
Yeah, see, I didn't know about that. I mean, I knew about it, but I hadn't tried it, and it seemed like it would make a big difference. I just didn't know if there was enough amperage to turn it that slow. Um,
It's smooth.
is it?
It's smooth.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I was surprised,
I'm
man.
curious how much better it'll be with the Furetech stuff because it's already. I just posted a video at Reaction with it, and it's really good already.
Was that with the Defender? I think I watched it.
Yeah.
The
The biggest issue for it is hanging up on
the bumpers.
the side, the steps.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
those little um what do they call those?
The ladders or
They're
are you
the
talking
little side steps for getting in and out. You
Nerf
step on
bars?
that Nerf bar. Thank you.
Yeah.
The Nerf bars
Yeah.
hang up on everything.
Oh.
So I need to come over, Dave, and try yours. He's already got it. Rock sliders, Nerf bars, that's it. They hang on
Nice.
everything.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that,
Uh-huh.
if you build stuff knowing that that's your issue and you set your gates accordingly, it's very, very capable.
Yeah.
So these are what are going to make mine awesome.
Ooh.
These are the new hotness from Spec RC
Yes, sir.
that he was posting
Very
on
nice.
his.
Yeah.
They look fantastic. I'm just now waiting for the SWB,
SLWs.
SLWs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even. Wheels are not my thing. And then I had to figure out what offset of SLWs I needed. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then it's like, then you're gonna need to get some nuts of your own for it. I don't know if he gave enough screws to actually do those two with the kit. So to be safe,
Oh,
I got them from Vanquish, and I also got their screw kits to go with it. So
he normally doesn't send the bolts for the SLWs,
okay,
just the bead locks.
so yeah, so the SLWs will have the Vanquish
Nice.
hardware for it. The Vanquish 350s, I think, is what I got for the offset
Nice.
because these are very deep.
Well, they're meant
So
to cover the portal on
the
there.
portal.
Mm-hmm.
So I got. Again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I got the 155 Raven Berserkers.
Nice. Rock Beast. Or
Yeah,
not the what are those called? Rock
Alien
Beast.
Compounds.
Yep.
These ones are Berserkers.
Pitbull.
Yeah, they're by
Pitbulls?
Pitbull. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I got Rock Beast, though.
Those are pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, I like the look of these for sure.
I like the width of them.
Yeah, they're Berserkers. Alien Compound. And they look about the right scale for the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But he said they might be tough to get on here. There's going to be some stretching involved.
Oh, they're 155s?
Yeah.
Okay. You should be fine.
Be a little bit of stretching, but I didn't want to get really huge tires to put on that little 12 scale. So
you'll be fine because I've put the 155 on 19s before.
Okay.
And on his wheels, as long as the tires have a decent bead to them, it'll be fine.
Have you put dish soap on yours for the bead?
No. These are 155s stretched over 19s.
Those look fantastic.
They do. They're awesome. Yeah, so these ones, and they were, I mean, maybe they were a little bit of a pain to get on, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad at all.
Yeah, what the heck happened? I ordered the Rock Beast.
They duped you.
Because there's the option between the XORs or the normal.
So here's
I need to look at my receipt. I think they sent me the wrong tires.
Uh-oh. Here's a little what's it called? Food for thought. If you're wanting to get paddles for 19s and you see the RCW or RC four-wheel drive ones, know that they are the tiniest tires that are out there. These things are so small. Like, I thought they were going to be scale because they're 19, right? Let me show you what a typical 19 tire is. Well, this is a 19 475. Well, let me see what I got here. Seeing if I have anything mounted in this Mary Poppins toolbox here. No, I don't. So this is a typical 475, and this is the 19 paddle tire. Yeah, it is tiny. Like, that is legit on the same plane. That's how much more tiny it is. So don't get those ones. I wish I could say differently, but Panther makes a good paddle tire, but it's on a 2.2. So you're kind of confined to that. I need to find, does anyone in the chat know where they can find a 475 or so paddle tire on a 19? I was thinking I'm going to have to make my own and buy some associated paddles and then cut them up and then stick them to a 475 tire, or 475 tire or so. You check it out.
I messed up. I sent the link to Spec RC saying, "Hey, here's what I'm looking at." And then that's not what I ordered. The crap did I do? Because I was trying to decide whether I wanted the XOR ones or the regular one. They have two different options of Rock Beast.
Sure.
And I think I didn't want the XOR because it's a much more cut out pattern. And I didn't like the look of it. looked too mud truck off. Like I didn't like the look of it, so I liked the regular Rock Beast, and then that's not what I ordered. So I'm an idiot. Oh well, I'll give them a try. It's only a
Yeah.
bajillion screws to put in.
I know. Only a
Yes,
few.
I did say I was going to have a Black Friday on the Ultimates Psycho 13 Garage.
He's like,
So, yeah.
really? Nice.
And I'm gonna have to look up reviews on them because if they do like just suck, I don't even want to waste time putting them on. They're getting like 5-star reviews.
That's good. So I got these wheels from Mofo to give a whirl. I don't think you can see them.
Tires are great. Foams are garbage. Everyone's saying.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, Dirk, hit me up, man. After.
So you probably can't
Crawler
see
Space.
these.
If I remember, Berserkers sucked. Cool. Oh, great. Whoa. Okay. What's this for?
For my monster truck tires.
Oh, you take them off and put them on that?
Yep. Oops.
Well,
Did you hear that?
only have 3 of them left.
I know. But they're bead locks that are offset, so I'm going to try those out.
To make
See
them
how
stick
that-
out even wider?
Well,
no, because those Mofo are pretty
yeah, they're pretty they have
far
a
out.
pretty
They're
big back
aggressively,
spacing.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'll be okay.
Well, they're
So,
not
but-
that far actually. They tuck in on the tire pretty far. The way the tire bites onto it.
They're close to what the back spacing is for stock. When I was
Okay.
measuring it out, where the stock wheel sits, it's pretty close. I was surprised.
Dave, I'll have to come over. Maybe tomorrow I can swing by there. He said he sold all his stock stuff for his TRX-4M, which is a bummer. I should have bought his battery off him. But I'll let you check this guy out too. This is that Fuertech one.
I want to see that. I mean, I want to see that thing bouncing around. That thing looks pretty wicked. Looks pretty fast. Do you have plans on putting more typical tires on it? Like,
yeah. He wanted to see a tone pole from Fuertech. The monster truck it, he knows I'm a monster truck guy, so
yeah.
They were doing it with monster truck tires, but I really think it would look good with the RC 4-wheel drive
boggers
with a mud. What are the really knobby?
The V-tread ones or the boggers, the ones that have the big flaps on them.
The ones with the big flaps.
Yeah, those are the boggers. Or slingers.
Mud slinger.
Slingers, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mud slingers will go on it.
They call them boggers.
Yep. So that's what I was envisioning on it, was the mud slingers with the Mofo wheels that I've run.
Yeah.
I think they'd look really awesome on here.
Yeah.
So
that or those Swamp Kings would look pretty good on that too. Little guy racing Swamp Kings.
Yeah. I think I have.
Those are,
what was the one that you kept telling me to get from them?
This one. The big tire.
What's that called?
Which looks really good on the Bronco wheel. Trail King. That's
okay.
what's called the Trail.
We have those. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Well. That was a terrible recommendation. Actually, I don't think I'm listening to you on tires anymore.
I think that's driver error, to be honest.
I'm going to send you those ones back with your shirt that I owe you still. For Alex.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Alex.
I got to find out where those are.
Yeah, you
love
them.
all of them.
You could just send them with the wheels on them too if you want. I mean, that's fine.
Well, no, I want those wheels. They're pretty awesome.
So what you do is you send them to me.
I'm gonna have to go buy you a shirt from Alex now if I did lose it. That'd be awful.
I'll take off the tires and you may get the wheels back.
No, I'll just take them off and just send you the tires. Or I'll have my kids do it or somebody with more patience than I do for that many screws.
Yeah.
How many are there? There's 12.
20 something. No, 18, I think. 18 or 23, 22. I don't know.
6.
So you want to see something else that's funny? Do you remember this?
Gotta be about 23 or 24. Yep. It's very green.
It
But now it looks
actually
black.
it actually
Oh,
almost
yes.
fits.
What do you mean almost? It fits perfect.
I know it does. I was thinking about uh
That's what you gotta run.
resurrecting. Yeah, the Vega body.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I'll figure out how to
That
mount
or
it.
you could do Monster Vet. Do a vet.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Make it.
Have that same kind of look. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be
So,
cool, especially if we're doing retro, because you've been talking about doing me that one truck body.
yep, yep, yep. I got the body file queued up. I'm just trying to figure out these shock mounts because I'm going to try to not integrate, but figure out the distance between the shock mount and the underside of the
Oh, so you
body.
can put a ledge for the
Yeah.
Velcro.
Yep. Yep. So as soon as that's figured out, those are probably done printing right now, but they're at the shop. So we'll see how that goes.
Having a printer is nice, except that I didn't run it the past 2 days because I was going to record stuff on that table that it sits on. And when
Oh,
it's
jumping
running
around.
all day long,
Yeah.
can't record a video there.
That's why I like having mine at the shop because I can just set it and forget it. Ron Popeil, man. Just walk
I should
away.
do it
And
up here, but I think it's too cold to do it up here.
oh, yeah. Well, I keep my office closed in the shop, so it gets pretty cold in there, but it's not too bad.
Okay. I mean, I'm in here with the t-shirt on, so it's probably
Yeah.
65 in here.
You'll be fine.
68.
The bed is heated, so you'll be fine.
Okay.
All you need for sure is,
You don't
because
want
you're
to
just,
draft is the main thing on it. Cooling it
yeah,
as
you're
a
just printing PLA, so you'll be fine. If you were printing ABS, then yes, you need to have a very much more controlled environment, but PLA, you're fine.
okay.
Because PLA, your main thing is your adhesion. If your bed cools down too much, it'll just break off or jog around, but your print head should be plenty hot to
Okay.
keep it going, I would say. Because my shop
I've
is
been
pretty
happy
cool.
with mine so far. I mean, I've just
What are you using for
stayed
filament?
cool.
Are you using
Prusa.
the Prusa filament? Okay, I didn't know if you were still using that stuff that I sent you a while ago.
I have
I
that
love that
too.
stuff.
I'm gonna dehydrate it
Yeah.
or have one of those little dehumidifier things.
Hmm. Yeah. I love that stuff. What color did I don't remember if you got
Gray,
that silver, that grit. Was it
silver
the
gray, something
silver
like
gray?
that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like space gray or whatever.
Yeah.
That's
That's
my
what I have for
favorite.
Prusa.
That's my favorite color.
Here's the Prusa one is that kind of space. Got a
Yeah.
little shimmer in it. There's a little sparkle.
Yep. Yep. That's nice.
So,
Were you
but yeah, I
jumping
mean,
up
it's
and
been
down when that
clean.
printed?
Oh yeah, I haven't had anything come out clean like this before. And then
Yeah.
all the supports just popped right off.
See, that's what's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, some of them weren't as easy as others, but
So what I've noticed is if you can be there within 20 minutes of it completing, generally it comes off so much easier.
the supports.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what what the reality of that is, but for me, it sure did make a huge
Those
difference.
Night Customs fenders were the more problematic.
What'd you print fenders? Inner
For the
fenders?
honcho, yeah.
Mm,
Inner fenders for the honcho. So,
yeah.
but yeah. Yep. They look good, but there was part of it that was tough to make it break
Mm.
off. And then I cracked it and had to glue it. I just put a
Ah.
little CA glue on
So how
the
did you
crack
print that cab? Did you print it standing just how it is, and then it filled the whole interior, or did you print it on the backside?
like this, but I still had it fill.
Okay.
So there was stuff
Yeah, all on the
wherever it
inside.
needed. Yeah. but it needed it here, so I think I did everywhere
Yeah.
because that way it would go in the windows here. It's about an 8-hour print,
That's not bad. That's pretty fast.
something like that.
Mine doesn't print that fast for
But I
that.
mainly did it because I wanted the lines to stack for the
Yeah.
body this way.
Yep. It makes such a difference.
Yeah.
Such a big difference to print that way.
So I've learned that the more you can do upright, the faster it is. The less it has to travel around.
Yep.
It's faster to just climb up.
Do you print with a raft or do you print
Brim,
just okay?
just a little brim. But yeah.
I always print with a raft.
I didn't see the raft option on the Prusa. I don't know the software yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, raft's probably better for a crappier printer because it soaks up the first level pretty well.
yeah, really thick. That's what I do with the other one.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that other one, which is a $350, $400 printer. I need to find somebody that wants to figure it out, which it's probably just operator error.
Which one was that? Was that the Anycubic?
Viper, which I think Anycubic Viper. Anycubic Viper 3D printer, yeah.
Okay.
$430 self-leveling bed. So
Yeah.
not a super cheap one. I wanted the self-leveling,
Yeah.
but I think that, what do we say? The filament was one of the issues. When I got new filament and then I started doing the dehumidifier stuff, I was getting a lot better.
Yeah.
But there's more setting that first level mesh that was the tricky part.
That's where that raft really helps out.
Yeah.
For a printer like that anyway, that doesn't have the self-leveling.
Yeah, well, it was doing it so tight then, the levels, that I couldn't break the raft off was the problem.
Mm.
Yeah.
The CHEPS
files. I don't know what that is.
Me either. But a good model makes a huge difference too.
Yeah. Well designed,
Huge
you mean?
difference. Oh yeah, it makes all the difference. And also setting up your model the right way in the slicer. So like for instance, that truck cab, if you had printed it this way, right, it would have printed well, but like going up the A pillar would have given you problems, or the overhang on the fender at the front would have given you problems, and he would have had this big brick of infill
Right.
of support too. So it's like there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah, that was part of the other reasoning, was the tip of it, wanting that nose to be good.
Super fresh, yeah.
Yep. So
oh, he
yeah, I
says
was pretty
they're
happy.
downloadable profiles for Kira.
Oh,
CHEPS files.
nice.
Interesting. I'll have to look those up and try them out.
Is that what you use as Cura slicing?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
with the Prusa, I've just been using the Prusa.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's cool.
I don't like it as much as Cura because the
Yeah.
stuff's not laid out as easily to see it all in one spot. You got to go through different tabs and then different sub menus on the side to see the different settings for things.
Yeah.
But like the Cura was laid out pretty clean.
Yeah. Pretty sequential.
Yep.
Like going.
And then you could turn off stuff that you don't have to really want to deal with, so you don't have to look at those numbers.
Oh,
yeah.
So today, I hadn't been at the shop in a week and a half, and I got to my computer, and of course, I haven't turned off my mothership computer in probably a month. And I was like, okay, it's time. So I turned off the mothership, turned it back on, and my Adobe Illustrator updated. And I was like, oh, because
it
it's
hides all your stuff, changes all your settings.
Oh, it changes all my workspace. And I have 3 monitors. So my main drawing monitor is here. My other monitor with all my tools are on the other side. And it was just all gone. And it's like, people don't understand how long it takes to set up all your tools when you're designing something like that.
Same with editing software. Because I have all my presets saved. I now
Mm.
export it so that I have it saved in Dropbox. So if I get, for whatever reason, I have to redo Final Cut or get a different computer, which I have here, a new computer in this. Well, this year I got this Mac Mini for up here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh crap. Like, but I just exported all of it from the one and then had to get it done in whatever. The main thing is I have like the slow motion tabs, so I can quickly just take stuff and it goes into auto mode and properly slow motions it to the timeline. So if I shot it at 120p, but I'm working a 30 frame timeline, it'll automatically go to 1.4 speed or one. Yeah.
That drives me crazy when I that every now and then on LumaFusion. If I'm shooting like something slow-mo with high frame rate and I drop it into LumaFusion and I forget about it.
Oh yeah, you
And
have
then,
to set timeline first.
yeah, and then I go and I slow it down and then I go to export it and then it's like flashing. It's so slow. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, you gotta set your timeline up right. Yes, Jeff Brown, Raw 100 servo announced today for a 14th scale and things like that. Reflex B, some of the other. I think it'll go with the mini Bs and that too.
What's your thought? I'm not familiar with the mini B. Associated has that Reflex 14, little like truggy and buggy, which looks pretty awesome. And I've been debating pulling the trigger on something like that. I think it'll work with the 14B Apex that they just came out with for the
Unicorn.
But what's your thought on that demographic?
Those are super fun cars. And there's a lot of them in that range. People don't realize it because of all like the Relarlo and WL Toys. There's a big kind of chunk of cars that are in that size. And actually, for a while, like we had the Losi ones, the Losi mini desert trucks and that, which were super cool looking. But without a lot of money thrown at them, they were dog slow. You could get the WL Toys, little buggies and stuff, and the short course trucks that were so fast.
Yep. That's how we started.
$60, $50, $60, way better, like way more fun. Yep. So there's already that platform. Well, the handling of the Reflex 14B is awesome. Going through tires was sucky because they're super soft and they just wear them out real quick. So I ended up using other tires and that helped. Yeah. But I like that size, like the mini B and the mini T's and all that.
Yeah.
Super
I think that'd be a blast out here on the back course because it's a little smaller, a little faster than I feel like
they'll be controlled.
Yeah. So would you say that? Okay, so the Reflex 14B or the Reflex 14, the little truggy and the buggy are brushless. Yeah, and they're brushless.
Yep.
Excuse me. So I'm wondering if that's faster than a stock 12 turn. It seems like it would be.
They're quick. I speed tested them.
Yeah, it seems like they would be because I was thinking back here, I could make bigger jumps. And it's slow. They're more controlled, like you said, but they have higher burst, and so we could really just
fast off the line.
Yeah,
watch my video on it. It's a fast car. The Reflex, and they're super cool. The paint scheme that's why I bought it. The paint scheme is wicked.
Are you talking about fighter? Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, very WW2 fighter plane looking.
Yep,
Warbird style.
It'd be interesting to see how that. They were talking about doing that at Die Hard, and I could probably get down with that at Die Hard versus buying a whole new buggy, 10 scale buggy. I'm just running a stock.
You should do it. See if they'll let you run it there too.
They have a class for it. That's what I'm saying. They're developing a class for it.
Nice.
Oh, are you talking about when you were slamming down your box? Yeah. I saw part of it.
I was doing my rant earlier about how social media is so like cookie cutter now, and like it's
Ah,
just driving me crazy. Like there's zero information. It's everybody doing the same things, but it's like, insert any product or anything you want, and it's all
yeah.
the same like fake transition things and the same. I'm just like so bored. But
You know,
yeah,
I was it was funny because
I'm not knocking anybody that does it. I mean, I
no,
know like
no. I mean,
RC
I get
Driver
it.
does some of the fast unboxings and then shows you, and then high speed, and then
Yeah.
okay, but I get they're trying to show it fast, whatever. I miss the people telling you about stuff. I miss the personality behind stuff. We've just
Yeah.
sucked all personality out of it. So
Instagram has been really, really
I hate
bizarre.
Instagram right now,
It
honestly.
has been so bizarre. I so right before I got sick, I did the release stuff for that enduro, and what was bizarre is I was getting a lot of, and by the way, people here, thank you for going and watching those videos on YouTube. Uh, but what was bizarre is that I was getting a lot of interaction, but my views were just in the tanks for that stuff. And I was kind of surprised, but not really. And then when I got sick, I was like, every now and then I'd look at it and I was like, I don't even want to look at this anymore right now. Cause it was like, it was so, I started realizing, like you, to your point, it was all so similar. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we looking at? And then it got me thinking, what are we looking for? Are we looking for the talking personality, which I think people are because it seems like your King of RC stuff is doing pretty well. But what else can you provide with some of this stuff, right? Like not you, but I just mean like the people on Instagram. It's all the same roost shots. It's all the same backflips. It's all the same crawling video. I haven't seen a whole lot of like real scale stuff. I've seen a lot of belly dragger stuff making hard lines or whatever, but haven't seen a ton of real scale stuff. And that's, Mike RCH was probably, I would say, the king of that super scale stuff on Instagram, but he hasn't been posting a whole lot of it. And it's just interesting. It's like, what do people want right now? What are they consuming? Who's the target? Um, I don't know. It's pretty interesting to see where that's going. Associate is doing some, and I'm just saying this just because I'm affiliated with them. It's really interesting what they're doing. Now, I don't know if you've noticed it. They're really putting sights on the barrier to entry of RC right now. And
Mm.
Traxxas just did it with this 18th scale. Associated was doing it. Like the crawler, super good price point. They're the DR10 just dropped down to like $199 for our RTR drag car. It might even be less than that now.
Yeah. No, that's
Uh,
awesome.
and like,
It's a
but it's
tough
like,
because I mean money's tight. So I just basically too like as of today
uh,
had the phone call where I won't be doing I'm losing my contract, like part-time contract work. So
mm,
it's gonna get tight. Um,
yeah,
which is just perfect timing because I just spent a boatload of money on new products.
right,
So I was like, oh, like not a good time. Like Christmas, like I thought I was gonna have the ability to do that and then still have a couple paychecks, do Christmas stuff.
right,
And I was like, oh, this sucks.
yeah,
So I'm probably gonna be selling an XRT lightly used, Traxxas XRT.
okay,
One run on it, I guess.
yeah.
So that'll be going up for sale. I've got a drag,
Is
low C
the
drag
king of
car
RC
in a box.
gonna sign it? King of
I
RC
could,
signed.
I could actually put the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 across the side of it if they want. So I was gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then I've got what do I got in the garage? I've got a bog hog unopened. I'll probably sell just because it's gonna be tight for December. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna be doing some fire sales, I think, here soon. So
yeah.
some stuff I probably wouldn't sell otherwise will be. I've got that Devastator, the HBX, the little crawler monster truck thing. the 4-steer one. I got it for like $80 on my site, something like that, shipped.
Yeah.
I paid $110 for it. It's been sitting there new in the box.
Yeah.
And yeah. Anyway.
Crazy. I'm
Crazy,
kind of in the
crazy.
same boat a little bit because I was like, things were looking good to have all these projects done before Christmas. And now that I just basically took 2 weeks off from being sick, I'm like, now I'm going to have to like push hard and get them done and then get caught up financially from getting those done. So I'm like, but
Yep.
we'll be
It
there
happens, man. It's life.
every
I'm
year.
not gonna
Yeah.
complain about it.
No.
I do actually have that job that I am doing for a different company going to Turkey, and so that'll help. I forgot about
Yeah.
that. As long as they pay
Yeah.
quick.
Quick. That's a
Yeah.
problem. That's the problem in our
Freelance
industry,
stuff,
man.
you never know.
Yeah, that's the problem is that, like I was saying on the last time we were on, I was like, I was waiting for a check, waiting for the check. And then it was like, open the mailbox. Oh, like,
Yep.
perfect timing. But
When
so Mark,
I bought baby Goliath motors this time in bigger quantities, so I'm gonna be able to do those at a lower price. So that'll be good.
oh, nice.
Um,
I've got some video. I forgot about that. When we were at that cabin, we went out on the deck and Dalton ran his 24 and I got some good glam shots of the baby Goliath going by in the snow.
oh,
Forgot
nice.
about that.
Those motors still work really good. I mean,
Dude, yeah.
I was trying to talk to Axe, be like, hey, TRX just came out with theirs. You should put some baby Goliaths in yours, like coming out stock, rolling out with those. But they got to do like all these compliance testing, and I don't want to have to pay for all that.
Yeah.
Like that they got to do with anything that goes in them. They have added costs of like making sure they meet certain standards in California and everywhere, all this stuff. So it takes a lot longer to get any of that done.
Yep.
But I was like, man, I'm like, it wouldn't be a big expense to put them in there, but it would actually.
Yeah.
So it's a big change to do something like that.
So Mark Johnson, sorry to cut you off there, in the chat is asking if there's any indoor crawling course in Western Washington. 24 scale, yes. Everett Hobbytown has one. Broadway Hobbies in Everett has one. Bellingham has one.
All 24 scale?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yep. And I think that's it off the top of my head. Tent scale, there's no longer an indoor tent scale. There was one 3 years ago. I think they went out before COVID did, and there hasn't been one. And that was the market that I was thinking about taking right before COVID happened. Me and my neighbor were talking about doing it, but decided not to. Kind of a blessing in disguise, but probably could have blown up also. So
I have a question here too. When you bringing a pull truck,
mm.
my smoking motorsports shirt needs action, and I have stickers now too.
Oh yeah.
He has pull hitches in. I think I'm gonna pull with my honcho. I think I'm gonna do like a stock class ish truck. So
Nice.
I don't know if they have stock class. I want to do more of the crawler class, but I want to run it stock because I really want to burn up the motor and the ESC in it. Like that's my goal more than anything. Is just like
smoke it.
Just smoke that thing. Just put it
Yep.
over put a 3S in it or something and just let it just burn so I can put stickers on it. So yeah. I'm trying to decide if I'll put those the smoking motors stickers on my website because I don't want them to go to people unless they smoke either an ESC or a motor, and then you get to put it on your truck if you do. But it's like, do I make people send a picture and then I'll send it to them, or like video of it happening? I don't know how I want to do that, but I don't want to just make those available. Those are more like I passed the
you should
to get it.
You should have them send you pictures of the motor smoking or video of the motor smoking, and then do like a smoking motor Sunday or Smoky Motors Saturday or whatever.
Yeah.
And then just
Gems, hobbies. Yeah, that counts. Go ahead,
post
Pablo.
post like a compilation of them, and
Yeah.
then they all get their stickers
Oh,
sent
that would
after
be
that.
fantastic to start doing.
There you
Like
go.
they've joined the Smoking Motors Club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just be able to post it to Instagram or something.
Yep.
Maybe I can make it so it's like,
Or just have them send you a file,
yeah,
a short reel style or shorts style, or unless you wanted to do a YouTube
no
style
signature, please.
on the XRT.
Yeah. RC Dragon Racing at Jeremy R.
Any ideas?
I mean, there's no way to tell people how to do YouTube. You got to do it, and you got to put out
I'll
good
tell you
content. You got to have
firsthand,
better than
it
good
is
content. Yeah,
it is tough.
because you can have good content and not get followers. It's
Yep.
crazy.
So my
You can put out
YouTube.
crappy content like I do, and somehow somehow.
Well,
I
that's
bought
what's
them all, honestly, but
that's what's frustrating on the YouTube part is that it's like I feel like sometimes I have pretty decent content, but it just doesn't get reach, and I'm not, and that's not that's my fault because I'm not doing it like I would be doing, spending the time on Instagram where it's like, you know, multiple times a day, all that kind
yeah.
of stuff. I'm not looking at it that way, but yeah, for me, the only thing I could suggest is just stick with it. Um, and I'm
Yeah, I
sure
did not
at
grow
some
as
point
fast
it'll
as
pop.
some of them grow. Like,
Yeah.
Cape Crawler is actually a good one that's come out recently, and he's growing fast.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know when he started doing a bunch of content. He may have been a YouTube subscriber for a while. It's always tough because you look at people's like when they started, they're about, and they
Hmm.
it could look like they've been around forever, but you go back to like when they've and look at their content and when they've really started making it. His
Yeah.
has jumped quickly. Shorts is helping people a lot too. So Big
Yeah.
America, did you notice he started posting shorts to YouTube now?
No.
And he's hit like 50 or 60,000 already.
I knew
But he
it.
has
I
like
read something.
3 long videos on it, like normal videos,
Yeah.
but it's all shorts. And it's just shorts are going big on YouTube right now.
I heard in January they're going to blow up because they're doing something for monetizing the shorts on YouTube, is what I read. But
Yeah.
this was a couple months ago, so I don't know or if that's following through or not. But but yeah, my description on YouTube is how to build RC cars from ground up because I can't afford RC cars to compete. So you're preaching to the choir on that, man. So most of my videos and most of my cars are based off of kit builds where I would build them slow and surely kind of a thing. I've noticed that when you do description videos and talk about the how to do this and blah blah blah, those seem to trend a little bit better. Um, but it is so hit and miss. And the thing that I would say, and this is just take it with a grain of salt because it hasn't really necessarily been good for me, but from what I've seen other people having success in, is just making the content. Like I feel like I fall into that trap where I feel like I want to polish it more than I need to. And then I spend all this time polishing it, and then I get it out there and it tanks. And then I do a video that just has a bunch of rough cuts and it's more candid. And then all of a sudden that video takes a little bit more of a uptick. It's just so random, like so
Yeah.
random. Just get the content out there.
I mean, if there was a formula, everybody would have big following. So there's not a formula that you can really you can follow some and it helps, but I mean, I do video professionally, like that's my job,
Hmm.
but I don't do professional videos for my YouTube
Sure.
very often because they don't do well. Like, and that's one of the things that I try to tell people from the get go is like the companies do the polished videos. If you do the polished videos, people don't learn anything. It's kind of
Right.
going back to what I was saying about Instagram and all that, where it's just like you know, I'm kind of making fun of it with the whole box thing and like it's all gimmick.
Yeah.
And that's what advertising is. Then you feel like the advertiser and you're selling something. And if
Sure.
people feel like you're selling something, that's not attractive to them necessarily, right?
Right. Right.
But
Right.
if you feel like it's a community and it's, you know, you're going to learn something, or, you know, there's different reasons why people watch different channels. But
Right.
I realized, you know, because I'm like, man, the whole thing was I want to do these cinematic things, and I realized those get less views than if I walk around with my cell phone. I
Yep.
could take my very expensive cameras and film something cool, but if I do something with my cell phone and just talk through it and tell people what the experience is,
Right.
it would get way more views. Like,
Yep.
it was one of those realizations where it's like, man, I hate this, but this is the reality, right?
Yeah.
So, but the good thing was you can do a whole lot more of that kind of stuff than you can the super polished stuff, because the time commitment and the, oh, do I even want to do this? Because it's going to be so much work to get it all set up. And,
Well, the
you know,
barrier to entry too is a lot easier because you're
yeah,
not having to go out and buy a $1,500 camera setup. And I mean, it sure helps to have lights and stuff like that if you're doing this kind of stuff.
yep.
But
But these aren't even expensive lights, honestly.
no,
Like, I've
no.
got
Well,
Amazon lights.
that's exactly what I got. Yeah, I got
Yep.
little Amazon lights. My lights that are up here that change color are those GU10 color change RGB lights, and I just set them
Yep.
on, and I think I got 4 of them for $20 or something like that. You know, it's like, yeah,
Okay,
no,
mine aren't
it's
that cheap. But,
mine are dirt cheap. I
I
did all
mean,
mine
these were
on.
like 2 for $100 or something
Yeah,
like that. Those are those are expensive-ish ones
yeah,
back there. But you saw them. Oh no, did you
yeah.
see them? The rollout lights, the LED? No,
No, but
maybe not.
I know what kind I've seen that style before.
Yeah, but I mean, those have. Well, I don't know what. Okay, those have been in the White House and lit presidents before. Those lights
Yeah,
back there, but they're not like the really expensive stuff you'd get at BH Photo.
right.
Um, I prefer these over it, and so, you know, most of the people would be hiring the other stuff, but I took these on a few shoots and everybody else loved them too. And so they go, well, we're going, those things are way more portable. We can
Yeah,
hang them way out and get this like super awesome light pattern because they're lightweight. All the weight is down at the base of them.
right.
Anyway, so those have filmed some very, very influential people around DC and different places
Yeah,
and over many years. So it's crazy. Like, but they're just Amazon lights. They're the cheap ones in my opinion. Like, as far as
sure.
the industry goes, those aren't like $3,000 Kino flows. Those are $500 Amazon lights. So,
Right, 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 right.
but yeah, it's crazy.
Uh, so he got done building a UDR from ground up, and it took him about a year and a half to do. One of the things that I've noticed, and this is me being a viewer, is that I like more content faster than like the process if I was building a car over months, I think would be hard to watch.
Yeah.
Versus like one of the things I used to love about Scale Builders Guild is that he had a weekly progression of this car that, or this truck that he'd take through, and I'd be waiting for the next week and waiting for the next week, or if it'd be twice a week or
He
whatever
doesn't
his
really do
schedule
those
was.
anymore. He does them
He,
live.
I know he doesn't. Yeah. And that's the part that I miss, is because I used to watch those.
It's
That's,
a
you know,
lot of it's a pain in the butt to make those videos.
it totally is.
So it's
Totally
easier to
is.
live and interact with people while you're working on it,
Yeah.
but it's not as viewable. But it is too, because you literally see every step. They're not high speeding stuff. They're not skipping. You see it
Well,
all, but
the
it's
hard
a
thing is
lot
that
more painful.
unless you have the following to come on the live at that moment, they're not. and unless you're what's the word, entertaining, they're probably not going to go and sit through a replay of the live.
Right.
Like,
Unless they're really trying to figure out how to build it. They're doing it step by
yeah,
step with you. Yeah.
right. And that's what I started watching you, is because I was learning the monster truck stuff. And so I would miss your lives of like your SMT10 stuff.
Yeah, I did
And then,
both with that because I wanted
right,
to chop it up shorter.
right. And so I would then go back and watch either your canned ones or your live replays, and I would watch those and learn more about the SMT10. But you know, yours is a lot more entertaining than a lot of people that are just starting doing lives, because they just got, it's hard to hold people's hold their attention.
That's in
Well, doing a
general
live.
video. Like if you don't realize
Yeah.
some of the stuff that, because if you just, I mean, you've been around me normally. I kind of just talk kind of quiet,
Yeah.
like and
Sure.
normal,
Sure.
but this would get kind of tiring to listen to is video because things are even more sleepy when you just do
So
it
my
normal.
video,
Super
I did
sleepy
the
sounding.
video. Oh, I did that video of me tearing apart the transmission. And after I went back and looked at it, I was like, could I have taken a sleeping pill instead? Like, oh, it was terrible.
You got, I mean, you got to have energy, and it's almost like I can't do it around people because I feel like I'm yelling.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't like to make videos. So we just went to that monster truck show, and I'm not gonna do like any type of video talking when I'm there. If I do, I go
Mhm.
outside and I do like a setup outside where
Right.
nobody's
Right.
around
Yep.
because it feels so awkward to do what I'm doing right now, which is in a room where nobody is.
Yeah.
Even in my house doing like a podcast or anything in the basement, if there are people upstairs, I'm like, I know they hear me. Like
Oh, I
I'm
know.
being so loud when I'm doing it
Yep.
that like, but you have to have energy because even now it doesn't come across as like I'm yelling it so much. Like
Sure. It's
it
just a
feels
different.
normal. There's this whole like because something with video and the whole auditory and visual
Yeah.
medium of it, it's super sleepy. Stuff that you could deal with in person is the most boring thing you've ever seen on video
100%.
recorded. So weird. It's like when you hear
Yeah.
your own voice. That's the other thing. Like I can listen to myself do these because I know it's not my normal voice. But when it's just like those build videos, I'll notice it come in and it gets kind of just
Yeah.
really kind of
Yeah.
boring. And you hear the voice and you're like, whoa, is that me? You know, like, whoa, I sound like that. But when it's like
Yeah.
this, is like, I don't think it's me. It's just if that's
Right.
whatever the voice is that I've created to do like the video with, it doesn't computate in my brain as being my voice. So
Right. Right.
and then if I start talking like this, then we're really in for it because it gets all crazy like, and people start being like, talk about them motors over there and like, so got to bring the king in every once in a while. But yeah.
No, I
So
totally get
video,
it.
I mean, that's a huge thing. Editing is one thing that can get you people if you're just clever and tricky with editing.
Hmm.
I mean, as much as I'm knocking on some of the Instagram stuff, it's the whole TikTok world right now.
I'm
It's
refusing to get
interesting.
on TikTok. I still haven't done it. I don't plan on doing it. I was
Well, our
listening to some of
Virginia
them.
Senator Mark Warner even just said that, well, somebody was right. This TikTok thing is a big deal and they're getting our information.
Yeah, well, Tom Cotton just said that too the other day,
Yep.
and he was saying that he goes, if it was me, he goes, I would delete the app and if all possible, get a new phone. I was like, dang, it's like that. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah. Luckily I've never had it. So
Yep.
kind
10-minute
of,
videos.
kind of like the
Crawler
clap.
Space RC says it does help to have longer videos. So here's the interesting thing about YouTube is watch time is
Mm,
kind of an important thing to YouTube, like how long people watch your videos. And if you have a minute long video and 90% of your people watch almost a minute of it, but 10% only watch 2 seconds, that brings your numbers down huge. But if those 10% only watch 2 seconds, but the other amount of people watch 5 minutes or 10 minutes, it doesn't hurt that overall watch time as much.
The average,
So, yeah, the average stays much higher, and YouTube says, hey, look, they keep people watching for 5 minutes or 7 minutes,
right.
which for my channel, as much as people may hate it, the King of RC videos get 3 times as long of a watch time as some of the other ones, especially for the long
Sure.
videos, which is crazy, you know, like,
Well, it's the
so
personality that keeps you in there. I mean,
right.
that's 100% of what it, I mean, to me, seeing those videos and seeing other people's videos, I think a Super One Handed said, you know, they don't plan on showing their face. I've noticed that I did a video where I was talking to the camera and it did so much better, and it did so much better interacting, because that first video where I was talking about like how I recorded it all in slow-mo and then it cut to the all that kind of stuff. And then it was no face, and it was just video, and I feel like had I popped in my face a few more times, it probably would have done a lot better.
Yep. And
But
that was
it
one of
did.
I did a whole video about how to grow your YouTube channel. And the first thing that I said was be on camera.
Yeah.
People are there for a personality. They're not there for a corporation. So all these places I work for, and they're like, hey, do what you're doing with your YouTube channel for our company. Like, I can't, like,
Oh
unless
yeah,
we
sure.
can
Why
get
not?
on there and be talking to the people and be real with people, it
To your
ain't gonna
people?
happen.
Just kidding.
To my fans, my only fans. Somebody just said at the Trigger King event, start on OnlyFans. I'm like, dude, have you seen my shirt? She's like, no. I'm like, we have OnlyFans shirts.
Yeah, we have OnlyFans.
So
That's funny.
yeah, I mean, social media, they are interested in who they're talking to. Because it for so many people is about community. Even if you can't have your face on, have a voice.
Yeah.
2FMRC is great about that. Like, he'll sit there with his hands in a little car and he'll talk. Bull Gear as well.
Yep.
Some of them have their faces in them,
Right.
but for the most part, they don't need it. You know, and a lot of even Aaron from RC Sparks back in the day, there were a lot of his where you didn't see him. It was him in a camera.
Yeah, but you
Showing what he
saw
was
the
doing.
thing that was different about that is that a lot of those videos, you saw the other people that he was interacting with. So like,
True. And you'd hear
they,
his voice. So he was
yeah,
still a personality.
yeah, because that was one of the things that I used to pull me in. He has that video, and I know it's like, I would venture to say it's probably one of his most viewed videos of the orange and white blazer that he was comping in his backyard against one of his other buddies. And my son and I watched that video a dozen times, and it was like a 40-minute video, 30-minute video, and it was just him talking, and you know, they were going back and forth if that was a gate, if that wasn't a gate, you know, and it was like
Yep.
super simple, all that kind of stuff. That got us into crawling for sure.
Jack is in the house. My buddy Jack from Jack's Kitchen, Outbat Jack RC. I never know what his RC channel name is going to be, honestly. I think, Jack, since I've known you, you've had about 8 different RC channel names. I love you anyway. Yeah. I know who you are. But yeah, he told me the same thing. It's so much about personality back in the day.
Yeah.
And as much as I didn't want to realize it at times, the whole like the talking behind while you're running over just doing music and making it like a cinematic music video, which is what I did a lot in the beginning. That didn't work, especially for the crawling videos. Boring as hell. Like,
I know, right?
Some of my early crawling videos were awful.
Yeah.
But now when I go crawling, I talk my way through it.
Yep. And I noticed that too, big time. And I don't know why I haven't kept with that recipe. I did a couple of videos where I was out on that on Reels for Instagram when I was out on the St. Jude hike, where I was crawling and then I was talking through my crawl as I was going. It was short, 20 seconds. Man, people would like that one. Those got eaten up big time. Uh-oh. Put made for kids on his videos.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
That hurts you. No comments allowed. Yeah. They're not, I mean, these toys aren't made for kids in general. Most of the audience watching the videos are 30-plus-year-old men. That's the audience. Don't
Mhm.
get made for kids.
I have a whopping 1% female demographic on my Instagram.
A what?
A
33?
whopping 1%,
1%? Yeah.
female demographic.
I honestly don't look at any of the stats.
Yeah.
I half the time don't know what my subscriber base even like number is. I know I hit over 53,000 recently.
Hemistorm got his
You got 100K.
yeah, he got a silver bullet there.
56,000. Sorry. 56,000.
I'm wondering if
3,000.
I'm wondering if that talking head stuff, if it's short, like kind of like for instance, like the Instagram or the YouTube hooks,
Mhm.
you know, when you're sitting there and you're like, hey, we're at Die Hard RC and we're going to be running blah, blah, blah. And then it's like cut to the the video of the driving or whatnot. I wonder if that would actually start to take off a little bit on Instagram if it was just jumping back and forth that way. You know what I mean? Because you don't see any of that on Instagram. You don't see any faces on Instagram unless
I've
it's a
started
live.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at my Instagram recently.
I don't believe you.
All right, we'll pull it up and show. My head was really itchy there for a second. Sorry, I had to take my headphones off. Headphones are driving me crazy. Dusty Fingers RC. It is crazy. It is a real challenge. So glad to hear it isn't just me. Even when I feel like I'm shouting or being overhyped, it only sounds normal when I watch it back.
I know. Yeah.
That's exactly it. So I was told when I wanted to start getting into being voiceover talent and whatever for videos, for other work, they said, talk like you're talking to the person in the room over there through the walls.
Yeah.
That's
Project.
the energy you have to have. I'm like, no, that's dumb. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to do that. But it was true. Like right now I'm talking, my in-laws can probably hear me through this wall, through the outside, into the other house where they are.
Yep.
They could probably hear me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't normally talk that this microphone does amazing stuff, especially if you have it like right here.
If you're eating it, yeah.
It's got like Mr. Radio voice stuff turned on it, so it
Yeah.
kind of cheats a little bit. But for other stuff, when I'm back there sitting and I just have like the little lav mic or whatever on, it's game on. Like it's weird to have people around you when you do it.
It is. And it's funny because a lot of the times, and I'm sure a lot of people have the same kind of issues. So like if you have kids, if you have a family, you're probably doing it on off hours or on times where you can. If you have a day job, you know, you're not going to be doing it during the middle of the day most of the time. And so like right now, normal Tuesday nights are school nights, and I'm trying to project or eat the microphone, but not get too booming loud because I know you can hear me all the way in our upstairs bedroom. Like I know you can. You know what I mean? Like but it's hard, especially if I'm making like one of those videos that I did with the taking apart the transmission. It's like, especially when they know I'm not talking to anyone but myself, it's kind of odd, you know, because you know that they're thinking like, he sounds kind of weird, you know?
Yeah. Why is he yelling?
I know.
You angry at somebody?
I know. Yeah.
What did I do?
Yeah. And then you have to get over the stage fright of doing it out in public.
Oh no, you just don't do it out in public. Shoot everything and then do your stand up somewhere else.
The funny thing is like,
or at your car.
At your car. So like, for instance, like I'm always like, if I'm out and I've been starting to try to do more of that, you know, today we're at blah, 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 and we're going to make a video and blah, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I kind of feel like I'm talking to the camera and I'm like, hoping no one walks up on me as I'm talking, because it's like, oh, who's this dork
Some
out
of
in the
those guys
woods?
that do it in stores and stuff, like they are such narcissists that they can do that. I mean, I
Yeah,
know we're all doing this for like YouTube,
yeah,
but like there's another level like that some
yeah,
of them will get to. So we
yeah,
watch a lot of fishing stuff right now, and like they'll go into stores and they'll just be filming. I'm like, I could never. I
yep,
don't even get like I go into even these like crawler space and to
yeah,
reaction, and I might film the trucks running a little, but
yeah,
I like yeah, not when people are around.
yeah,
Jeff
and
has let me in like early sometimes. Like I just did that one video and I talked the whole time I was talking, doing it. But like if everybody's around, I'm not gonna do it. Like it's
well,
just I can't do it. I can't perform in front of people. It's
yeah, and
just
it's
weird.
kind of and it's awkward when they recognize you a little bit because every now and then I'll go to
Nobody ever
one.
recognizes me, so I'm lucky with that. It's good.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe. Well, probably because you're in a place that where normal they know who you are already, so it's not like a new thing. I don't get out a whole lot, so when I go out to like uh comp every now and then, people are like, "Oh, it's RC Amigos, blah blah blah," and I'm talking to them, but I'm like, I don't know why you're talking to me like this because I'm just an average dude, dad that makes videos every now and then that kind of don't suck every now and then, and it's like I've been to some where I'm like, don't think I'm like the sliced bread of driving because I suck. Like I'm most of the time. What's funny is that I feel like I suck so bad when I'm trying to make a video and I'm at a comp. Oh man, I suck so bad. I always end up just totally tanking my driving all the time. But if I'm out driving by myself, no problem.
Well, that's everybody.
Yeah.
Jeff Makovich, nobody wants to see your old man face. Here's the fix for your old man face. Flat brimmed hat, baby.
I got one better for you. Look at all this white.
Bring it,
Yeah.
slam it down low like this,
I know.
and just pretend like wear a t-shirt and pretend like you're a kid like the rest of us.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we do. I'm all about my
I
flat
need my
bill.
glasses back though.
Yeah.
Uh
Yeah. I got the
my
big cool frame.
outlaws, no, my in-laws.
Yeah.
My in-laws live in my house. Some people don't know that. We can't afford all this by ourselves.
Jeff
You
Brown
know.
goes, I have a kid that always asks, when is CCXRC coming?
He hasn't learned apparently on Thursday nights. If you're watching this show, kid, Thursday night,
Kid.
I will be there. Tomorrow, it
CCXRC.
sounds like I'm heading to Crawler Space RC. So if you get there early,
Yeah. You're
'cause
YouTube famous, he says. Just don't forget to ask about
when
the
people see me
CCXRC
in the
discount.
stores, they're like, "Aren't you that YouTube guy?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's me. I am." Now that never happens. Yes, you
Yeah.
need CCXRC hat, headphones, and Fuertech Ultimate. Yes, Fuertech Ultimate's on sale though later this week. I would wait. What is
Nice.
today? Tuesday? Probably by maybe tomorrow. I'll do it.
Mm.
Try and beat all the Black Friday people. So yeah.
Oh, so the De Leon Slot Car Raceway. Okay, so I don't have my phone down here or anything, but he said he just started making slot car racing tracks. Did I send you the
Videos.
account on Instagram about that slot car account that I found that is like
Oh,
freaking
you did send me something. They're legit cars.
dude, and they're like all cinematic. Their cameras all low and they're like getting sideways and they put dirt on the track and it like sprays out. Oh,
Oh, I haven't seen that. But I watch with my kids those Hot Wheels ones where they set them up and they got those two announcer guys announcing the racing.
oh my
That's
goodness.
some of the best stuff ever. Like
Ah,
they
it's
they have a
painful.
whole series where they run them through and they
I
knock
know.
cars out. It's one
I
of the
know.
best. So
It's
that's what,
painful.
again, going back to videos, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. YouTube is still my platform, man. Like
Yeah.
there's one news show we watch daily, the Five, because it's kind of like what Comedy Central used to do for news. I thought with
Mhm.
back in the
Yeah.
day, that was funny. I think that the Five does kind of an interesting bit on the news where it's kind of funny. Like this Greg Gutfeld guy is kind of humorous, and then the rest kind of bring it balance both
Well,
sides,
and
whatever. But
There's
so I
something
watch
about
that,
that
but
chick.
everything else I watch is YouTube. Like we
Yeah.
watch long form videos on YouTube. We
Yep.
watch right now we're watching Game of Inches. 5 different YouTube teams of ice fishermen go out and they're trying to get there's 6 different species. They can keep their longest fish in each one and then add them all up. So it's just like interesting, like this competition that's going on. We're watching all of them, tracking it.
Yeah.
But hours of footage of YouTube, but it's not 3-minute videos. They're 15
Right.
to 30-minute videos. They can just sit
Yep.
down, grab some popcorn and watch, So
I don't remember what the name of that chick is on the 5, but there's something about it. Something about it. Or
there's a couple.
well,
Oh,
the
I
one
don't
that's
like the
always on
judge
there.
one. The judge one's annoying.
No.
There's
No.
Dana
That's the
Perino, the blonde one that's
no, that's the one with the glasses. She's always on there. What's her
she
name?
just had a baby recently.
No, not her.
Kennedy
She's the
from MTV.
no, definitely not Kennedy. The other one that's always on there. I don't remember her name though. But something
She's
about
one
it.
of the one
She
representing the Democrats.
no. She's always sitting to the right side, first chair to the right of is it Gutfield or the 5? Same thing?
Oh, Kat Timpf.
Yes.
She's hilarious.
I know.
She's really funny. But that's
And
the
easy on the
Gutfeld
eyes.
show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 5
I
is more real news
okay.
than that. Where he's
Yeah.
on there still to bring like the lighthearted, like slap you in
Sure.
the face kind of with stuff, reality.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so we just watched that one show and then everything else is YouTube. I try not to watch
Have
too
you
much.
have you seen that Chris Hemsworth Limitless show
No.
on Disney Plus? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
We still have first batch of Chihuahua servos in, yes.
Nice.
The servo itself says Chihuahua, but the case says Chihuahua. We do have some of those. And Hot Wheel downhill races are fun. Yes. They have a scar on a treadmill too. I got to find out who those guys are. But if you're
There's
doing that,
that
that's
one.
awesome.
And then there's the Hot Wheels monster truck ones that they do. And they like rebrand the have you seen that one? Where it's the monster trucks that are by Hot Wheels and then they like redo some of the bodies and repaint them and they do the bracket racing. Same thing, same downhill concept. You should just do
that there. Good deal, sir. You're going to want to get that. You're going to like that one right there.
You're like, come sit on my
That's
lap and tell me
why
what you want for
good
Christmas.
See that? That one comes in a box. You're going to want that. It's a good one.
That's funny.
No, yeah. I mean, the King of RC just literally says whatever comes to his mind in that exact minute, and most of it makes 0 sense. So, yeah. I always worry, like, when I go back to watch it back, I'm like, is there going to be anything funny in this? Like, I know we rolled for a long time. Will we have at least one bit that's funny? Because most of it seems stupid.
So does it feel, are you cutting a lot out on,
No.
just letting it, just doing it live, huh?
Yeah. There's 1 or 2 laughs. Like we had to cut out with what was the one that we just did? Oh, where I cut the lights. I just lost it after I cut the light. I'm like, I can't believe I just freaking did that. Where did that come from? That just, yeah.
That's
like
funny.
It just somehow the whole fog light thing. They're always one out. And in Virginia, you had to have all your lights working or you couldn't you couldn't pass inspection. And so they charge you an arm and a leg to get the fog light working. And I'm like, are you freaking like, we don't even turn it on.
Before you got your
tags? It's got to work. No, there's a separate sticker they put on your window in your car that says you've passed the inspection, that your car doesn't have any of the lights on saying warnings, that all of your lights work. Yeah. That your tires meet spec, that there's nothing wrong with your car. There's no freedom in Virginia, my friend.
Man.
Not for car people. Back here in Detroit, I mean, if that thing can drive, they'll give you a license plate for it.
Yeah.
Like they're just spewing oil out the back of their tailpipes, and they're just like clouds of smoke driving.
It's like Uncle Buck.
Half of them are hitting deer. They got no headlights. They're driving like they don't care.
Yeah.
If there's street lights, they're driving at night. They don't care.
Yeah. That's funny.
But no, yeah. So you had to pass inspection for dumbass stuff.
Is that every year?
Every year. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. If you had any light on in your car, they wouldn't on your dashboard. They wouldn't pass it. If your headlights weren't working, if you had anything not working, they wouldn't pass it. It was dumb. And that's where like fog lights got me, man. Like $120 to change your fog lights. Like what?
Ugh.
But if you don't do it, they're not going to pass you. Then you got to go back and take the time to get in line for inspection again. And you're like, got to get there early. They're going to keep like, all right, freaking, I'll pay $120 for you to put a stupid bulb in my. So
see, that would drive me crazy.
There's always one of them's out. Those fog lights suck.
My truck right now, it's bizarre. It was my wife's grandfather's truck. So it was like a grandpa truck for a long time. So I just sat, but it's a 98 with 80,000 miles on it. It's immaculate, like fully loaded GMC, like fully loaded. The problem is the brake system on that year of GMC truck would do this chattering thing. It would do this chattering thing when you hit the brake. The analog brakes would like make it like da 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 or whatever.
Oh,
and
yeah,
finally,
pass.
Yeah, well, finally, I was just like, you know what? I went to a mechanic and I was talking to him about it. He goes, "Well, you can just pull the fuse, and then you won't have analog brakes. You'll have analog brakes from your disc brakes, but you won't have analog brakes like the system." He goes, "But you'll have a light on in your truck all the time." I was like, "Show me where this fuse is. I'm pulling it out right now."
Yeah.
Right. I was like, "Yep, I don't care if I got a dumb light in my car."
So I bought my truck last year, and I paid a lot of money for that stupid thing, which I'm actually looking to sell that now too, because I don't want that payment if I don't have that contract job as safety, because we have a boat payment and other stuff. So I'll probably be looking to downgrade my truck to an F-150, which is still nice, or like a really old truck. I'd buy something old. The only reason I got that one is
heated seats.
That's what my kids say. Like, if you get rid of this, it better have freaking heated seats.
Oh, dude.
We had like 8 inches of snow on the ground here right now. And they're all like,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they want heated seats in the next one. But I'm like, it was about rust. Like, it was aluminum. Like, all the panels on that truck are aluminum. So, I'm not like a big Ford guy or whatever. It's just like, I don't want a rusted out truck if I can avoid it. So,
yeah.
But
yeah, that's so I went from
dude. So you know what we saw this week? We don't like. So that's the thing. Like, old cars in Virginia don't exist because they don't pass inspection.
Oh,
Can't drive them on the road.
Yeah.
I just saw a freaking Ford Tempo, dude. Like a 4-door red Ford Tempo. I've seen more like Pontiac Grand Prix and Grand Ams. Like, I don't think I saw one of those ever in Virginia.
Those mid 80s, early 80s
cars run
are terrible.
forever here. I mean, they might be rusted out, pieces of junk, but
sure.
Shoot, I'd drive one. Like, I still want a Chevette if I could get my hands
something
on
about
Chevette.
A little old car like that. That's so much fun. Like, my grandpa had my grandpa had one of those Civic 1600s or whatever they were, like the early 70s. It might have been late 60s, little Civic 2-door hatchback. And it was like,
those old CRX hatchbacks. Sorry, I won't.
But he had one of those little Ford 4-speed, and that thing was just like, I mean, you'd put it to the floor and you're just like, whoa, just wrapping that motor out, just going around. But it was so much fun. You know what I mean? The only thing that sucks. So like, okay, my daily before I got this truck was my old 71 C10. Love that truck. But like this time of year, it is brutal. It is so brutal to get into that truck in the morning. It's, 30 degrees out. You fire it over.
It
There's
takes
ice
like
on the
30 minutes to.
well, I couldn't even let it warm up in the driveway because it's so loud when I'm leaving in the morning.
Oh
And
yeah,
I've had ice on the
frost.
inside of the windshield, ice on the outside of the window, and I'm like hearing like this huge coat, and I'm backing out, and I'm just like blah 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 as I'm cruising out, and then finally I get to the shop, which is only literally a mile away. And so by the time I get to the shop, it still hasn't warmed up, and I have to let it sit there and warm up and freeze in this freezing truck while the truck's warming up, and then it finally warms up and I can shut it off. Like it was brutal. And so then I got to this truck that had seat warmers and leather, and oh my goodness,
Leather. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Does it have
talk about
heat
spoiled.
coolers too?
Doesn't have coolers. It was too
Oh
old for coolers, but I mean, it is like, I mean, it's plush. And so
yeah,
I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to drive my old truck right now. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I want to get in and get that thing warm and keep just
My
sometimes I
2002 Winnebago has heated seats, so I could get something fairly old and still get heated seats.
there you go.
That's what I'm telling my kids.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah,
Yep.
so that's something I really am. We're talking about selling it, but
Yeah.
all I was gonna say is like the ever since I got it, I can't turn off the traction control. So I took it in, and they're like, it doesn't look like there's like nothing. There's nothing for the fuse in it. There's no. It's like they never put it in. Like,
Oh,
but there's a
wow.
freaking button. He's like, well, somebody either forgot to install it or what.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So,
So are you gonna give me some money back? I paid for this.
I mean, no, I didn't. It was used, but
Yeah.
it's also from Canada. And they're like, oh, well, I mean, this could be just a frame. Like, as far as we know, this whole thing could have been totaled. And when they just put something on this truck, like, what? Like, no, when you
What?
look up, you can see all the details of a truck from Canada. Like, it's
Yeah.
not hidden from you.
Right, right,
And
right, right.
I can see the oil changes and all the stuff the guy had done to it. Like, don't
Right,
tell me that you can't tell if it's been in a wreck.
right.
But yeah, it was dumb. Like, they were not willing to budge.
Huh.
And I spent like 3 different times bringing it in for them to try to fix it. And I'd spend money for them to try something that wouldn't work. And then they're finally like, it's gonna be $2,000 to fix it. And I'm like, well, we're just gonna have it on all the time. But I
Yeah,
can't
what
do
year
like
is it?
burnouts and stuff. Like,
Oh,
because it slips into like traction
limp
and
mode. Yeah.
yeah.
What year is
So
it?
2019.
Okay.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's a bummer.
Because I know in 2020 there's a lot of in the automotive industry they called them COVID cars because they would not come out
Oh
right.
yeah, they didn't have the parts. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Get it
so
reamed
there's a
in.
lot of yeah, a lot of cars that had like bad gapping, some components weren't in there, all that kind of stuff. But 2019, you should
It
have
would have
probably
come
been
out in
in there.
2018 technically. So yeah, it was before. It was
Yeah,
pre-COVID. But I
right.
mean, it's got all the like, it's got the fifth wheel package, and
Yeah,
I mean, it's a nice truck. But I'm like, if I can get my money back, I'll just get something junky and cheap for now and not have the payment.
yeah.
So we definitely want
That's
to. We're on the water. We want to have a boat. So I'd rather have
yeah.
a junky truck.
It's nice not having a payment.
Yep.
That's for sure. We don't have any. All of our cars, we don't have any payments on them. But we drive old cars. Like the truck is. It's not
I
the newest.
typically always have. This is the nicest truck or nicest car
Yeah.
we've ever bought.
Hmm.
The truck. Even my Jeep when I bought it was 2011, so it was 8, 9 years old, and it
Yeah.
was like, I mean, 20 grand, and that was like, whoa, we're spending 20 grand on a,
I know. Yep.
everything's been 15 or less, and
Our
yeah,
we have a 2012 Scion XB, and then we have my my truck, the GMC, and then we have my old Chevy. That's it. So
I kind
old
of would
school.
love to find a Toyota FJ, like if I could.
Yeah.
So
Crawler Space, he just said he just paid off his 2012 FJ.
yeah, that's awesome. They're one of my favorite looking cars out there. I mean, I
We
would love
almost bought
FJ.
one. We almost bought one, and my wife got in, and it was a manual, which is fine. She knows how to drive a stick, but she couldn't, even with the seat pushed all the way forward, she could barely hit the bottom of the clutch. And then because she's short, being able to see out of that truck was so hard for her.
Dude, they feel like a tank, right? Like the
Yeah,
windows and everything are so.
yeah,
I
so
think they're
narrow in the
cool.
back.
They're so
Yeah,
cool.
yep.
Yeah, if I could get like an army green one or a blue one, I'd be.
So I'm not an electric car guy, but there's an electric truck that I really like, and they just came out with an SUV, the Rivian company.
Rivian, yep. With that little pass through on the side that they've got.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
SUV though is sick. Dude, they just came out with it. It looks so rad. I was like, "Yep, I would take that in a heartbeat." And I saw a really cool rendering that they did. So it was like a RC crawler, right? So it's a normal SUV, but then what they did on the hood, because there's no motor, they took the spare tire and cut a hole in the hood and embedded it in the hood, so there's only like this much sticking out of the tire out of the hood. That's the tire, and then they put a cage, exo cage over the whole thing, and I was like, "That is badass! Like
Mm.
that is so cool, so rad." I'm down to my
Holy,
last cough drop.
holy crap! There's this 1969 Land Cruiser for 33,000 with 21,000 miles on it. Looks gorgeous. I was looking at
Easy to work
BFKs.
on. Easy to work on if you can
3-speed
get parts.
manual. Oh my goodness. Miles per gallon. Doesn't say.
Yeah, yeah,
What a beauty.
that's funny.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's something I need to look at. But we're looking at. I would maybe do another Jeep because of Michigan, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'm trying to offload I think my truck was like 56 when I got it. It was expensive, but I put like a huge payment down on it. So my monthly isn't even really that high because I put a lot down
yeah,
on it. So when my wife told me so, I'm like, what would we buy? Like this is like a $30,000 truck at this point. Like
right,
there's not many F-150s you're gonna get for that unless we can get enough off of this that I get my money back that I can
right.
slam down any other payment, you know? But yeah,
Which will be hard right now.
yeah.
Trucks are
I'm
so
starting to find
hard.
stuff.
Yeah, trucks are hard because they're expensive, but then you can't find one that's a good price. And the hard thing for you is you need some space. Like you need to be able to cart your stuff around
Yeah.
and have it
So
reliable that you can drive those places that you
I need to
go.
tow. I need to be able to tow my mom's camper. I need to be able to tow my tractor for service and stuff. And that was the thing. The Jeep really couldn't tow the tractor by the
Even
weight
an
of the
F-150
trailer
is
and
going to
the.
have a hard time with a tractor, probably.
It's not a big tractor.
Yeah.
It could do it.
What do you have to have the
So
hitch at? 7K for the tractor?
no, no. The tractor itself is only 2,500.
Right. But then you have the trailer that has to support the tractor.
The trailer's 1,500.
Okay.
It's a car hauler, but the hitch weight isn't much because you center the weight over the dual axle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I did tow it with my Jeep, but not far.
Yeah.
So they've got what 6,000 max, something like that with the Jeep. No, 3.
Yeah. It's not
So
much.
I was getting close, 3,500, and so plus then your payload in your Jeep if you got any riding in it with you. Yeah.
Right.
So
That's
that's the
crazy.
thing. But anyway, so we need to go through the monster truck thing. We need to come up with what we're gonna do. I think we definitely say stock motor with the speed gearing,
Yep.
and then we're gonna try and keep it as stock as we can. We have to do some stuff because we gotta be able to raise the body or drop the shocks or something with the suspension to get it to work. But we're going to keep it pretty.
Can we change the
simple.
body?
Oh yeah, change the body because we're talking about changing the bodies already.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I don't want to do too much because I'm probably going to turn mine back to a crawler after for my kids.
Keep it a monster truck. So much
Tractor's
cooler.
going to be towing the Ford.
Ha! There you go.
But yeah, I don't know.
We're just going to do a freestyle thing.
Yeah.
30-second
I'm going to do any
freestyle.
monster truck with the thing. I'm probably just going to buy axles separate and do it to a monster truck chassis.
Yeah.
The axles themselves you can get for $20 for the rear, $60 for the fronts.
Really?
Complete. Yep.
With a servo?
No. Servo mount is $5. And then add a servo. But the actual complete built axles internally are.
I saw you put the Chihuahua or one of those servos in it.
Got to grind a little.
Yeah. I haven't
Trim a
looked at
little
it
away.
yet.
That's what's in this one. But I actually just kind of kicked it at an angle. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I just kind of slammed it in there and tightened it down. But it would go in there flush until you put the servo horn on. So you could get it in there and lodge it. But then you had to pull it out to put the servo horn on first. And then put it in. And then you couldn't get it to kick right. So you just have to grind a little away at the casing. But DSM Off-Road has a casing coming, or a mount coming to fit it perfectly. So hopefully I'm not letting that out of the bag on him. But
oh, what a jerk. Didn't even ask.
He said he was going to release it soon. So I think he's done it. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Didn't hear it here, folks.
I want to try to get this
said by Harley Designs at some point in Scale News Update. Subliminally. If you play it in reverse, he said it.
Yeah. I want to get this thing to do a backflip to moonwalk.
It can definitely moonwalk.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you notice? So I was doing mine without a body on it. I was just kind of driving it around because I took the fender, the bumpers off. The balance as it sits is surprisingly good. And I thought I could almost like walk it out on a moonwalk, like not drag the bumper, but like actually walk it out. Like the control of it was smooth enough. I was like, this might be a new thing. I just want to see how much air you can get with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
it's not the right jump.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't really like to. I was trying to run over stuff to get it to kind of pop with this transmission. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you have to like make a bunch of spacers, stuff them in there and make it super hard, but I don't even think that would work. Ooh, that's a good question.
I like the 1/18th.
You would.
I said it.
You would. Out loud. You like it over the 10 scale?
Yes.
Why?
The 10 scale gets over everything too easily. Like on a 1/10 scale course for most things that they build them for, it just walks over it. They don't even allow it because it's too capable. But the 1/18th on a 10 scale course proves to be about as difficult as a 1/10 scale trail rig, like crawler. Yeah, that's why I like it. It's not so easy that it's not fun.
Sure.
So I never had a place to run my 1/10. It's like we don't have anything complicated enough to run it and have fun.
Right.
Yeah. Don't worry. He'll tweet it out right now. Nobody's on Twitter. Elon Musk tanked the whole thing. It's gone, man. You could tweet it all you want.
Yeah. Put it on TikTok.
Yep. Then China will know.
Then China. You don't want that. Not at all. Mini Capra showed up. My TRX-4 on a couple or showed up my
It's pretty
TRX-4M a couple of
capable,
clips.
but it's not as capable as a 1/10, which makes things almost not fun. Unless you just love watching the suspension work and just climbing over anything that's in front of it. That's the thing with the 1/10 Capras.
The one,
Capable.
yeah, the one thing about the like that style is if you get something with FOC in it, it's so much fun to crawl that way.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like just super slow, just letting the tires like
just watch it eat. Yeah.
Oh, I love doing that. It takes forever, but it's so much fun just to watch it and just to listen and watch it, stretch out. Mm-hmm. Two of the Capras. How expensive are those Capras? Stock, the 18th?
$250.
$250. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Pretty good. I don't know. I'm torn on that size difference. I think I'd rather just stick to 10th scale. But that's just me. I think 10 scale is a little bit more. The hard thing is that it'll be interesting to see if more companies make parts support for it versus just Horizon.
Yeah, some already have.
Yeah.
Trio has some stuff coming for it.
Oh, that's right. I thought I saw something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, that's when it's an odd scale. It's like where do you go with that? Versus a 10 scale, it's kind of nice because some of the add-ons to them cross universe. Jeff is saying, and Jora has stuff too coming. Psycho Garage says, do you think Axial's going to come out with another 124 soon? It's getting late in the game, man. They gotta get off.
I asked them to make a Unimog like the UMG, and they said never. It didn't sell well enough.
Really?
The only reason it didn't sell well enough, in my personal opinion, is it's a kit. If it had been ready to run,
yeah,
it has sold like crazy. But
they had those 6x6 ready to run.
Yeah, but nobody wants a 6x6.
Everyone wants a 6x6.
Nobody
Dirt Burger's asking, what's FOC? Field Oriented Control is what I thought it stood for. So basically what that is when you hold the trigger down, and you can set the percentages on nice ESCs, but when you hold the trigger down a certain amount, it's only going to go so fast, and it's going to keep the level of torque the same throughout that power. So if you hit a rock and you have it only open, say you have your throttle at 10%, it'll hit that rock, but the wheel will spin at the same speed going over that rock and all the way down as it will on flat land. It won't go up or down.
And then maybe a little bit of a second as it does it, like where you notice a little jerk or whatever. But it's not like where you, like I was showing with the TRX-4M, where you under power, it hits and it stops.
Yeah.
And you have to give more throttle input to get it to crawl over it. If you're with the FOC, it'll hit, and then it'll just keep going and and maintain that amount of speed and torque, no matter how much more it has to technically apply in order to maintain that torque. Yeah,
it's
awesome.
fun.
I love it. It's smooth.
Yeah, it's so fun to sit there and just watch it eat. Because what happens is you get to a point where you're fully articulated and your tires will be reaching for that grip, and it'll just be like, it's like watching a super low range crawler at work doing its thing. It's I really enjoy it. They have them for 10 scale and they have them for 24 scale. Fuertech, a lot of the Fuertech stuff has the FOC in 24 scale. Hobby Wing has FOC. I'm pretty sure Spectrum has FOC on the all-in-one unit. But yeah, they're a lot of fun to watch, and it just gives you a whole other level of control. Dirtburger saying they're nice to carry around or pack an 18th scale.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. It's still kind of big. It's not much smaller than a 10th scale to carry with you, but it saves a little room.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about the well, I guess the new SCX24 is the same way, but the original one, the radio was smaller, but that Traxxas controller is so big.
Yeah.
Like if we were to try and pack away with that thing, when you have that radio, you're like, where's this gonna
It's
go?
the same size of the car. Yeah,
Right?
it's
Yeah,
massive.
it's huge.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's one thing that I did realize when you were talking about how the Traxxas, how it like stalls
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to give it to get over. One thing that I've noticed that's nice about that is that even though you give it more power to get over something, the transmission seems so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like it seems like it lurches over, but it like rolls it out a little bit more. I don't know what it is exactly, but
Yeah. And I mean,
it's
I'm not saying that the SCX24 doesn't do that either, right? So it does.
mm,
But it's just noticeable for such a big motor. You expected it to have. I expected it to have more than the SCX24 with my motor in it
mm,
for how big that motor is. But somehow
yeah,
the way they geared it, the way it approached that, I was like, really?
yeah,
Like, it's a
yeah,
big old motor to not be able to take on that little incline that I just
right,
came up
right.
against. But it's all in the gearing. They just geared it. Once you put that low crawl gearing in it, it doesn't do that as much. It's way better.
Huh,
Yeah. So they just
that's cool.
overgeared it to have that speed.
Yeah,
Have I
interesting.
bound the TQI to the TRX-4M yet? No. Everyone keeps saying it's better, but no.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I kind of don't like. I've noticed my steering trim is off. And the only thing that I can do as far as I know, oh, no, there's a trim button on here. Well, that'll fix it.
Yep. The only button on that one. Yeah. They don't have the
I
other.
know.
I was gonna say, like,
Man,
what's that problem? There's a set button to do the other stuff, but
yeah.
the thing with the dual button one is then the thumb steer thing gets in the way.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I found that with the bigger ones. I have the Mark Santa Maria thumb, and I've got the DSM thumb steering on them.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, that one button gets in the way for the TSM.
I got to print one for mine because that's the only thing that's held me back from making video with this. The only video that
They
I've,
do it
I've
to themselves. What can we
I know
say?
the video that I have is my son driving, which is fine. But yeah, it's the only reason why I haven't made more video. Well, that and I just haven't
Some
been
people say
upright.
they have large enough hands and they can do it. They've got freakishly
They
large
got to have
hands.
huge hands. Yeah, because my hands are
And
big
they've got to
and
be like
I'm,
reaching weird to do it. Like they've got to
yeah,
have not be holding it normal.
yeah. Like
So I can do it, but you can't.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Like I have to have it more in my knuckles if I do it.
But then I
And
get blasted for saying that like that would be a good feature to have.
why?
And they're like, what? Like, why do you need to drive one-handed? Like, I'm like, why wouldn't a company want you to be filming their product and giving them free advertising? That's the real question. Like,
Right.
why
right.
wouldn't they do whatever they could to make the change so that more people that want to post to social media can easily do it with their vehicles? Like, that's the real question. Like,
Yeah.
don't
And
question me on why I need to do it because there's a bajillion people that are recording their videos now to put out.
Yep.
Why
Yep.
not make it easier for them to do that?
Right.
Or put a clip on there for you to be able to put your phone on or make some kind of they round that nose on that stupid thing too on the base so you can't easily clip anything to hold a phone
Yep.
or a GoPro.
Mhm. I always
So
just
it's
glue.
just an awkward radio.
I glue the GoPro hot shoe at the bottom, and so I can stick it off the bottom and just go
Yeah.
for it that way. But it
But
ends up
even where
breaking.
they have it, it's just like it's just an awkward radio to use. It's not like any of the other ones I have
Right.
where the hand feels. It's like it feels like your hands are way separated weirdly. It's
I
not
haven't
awkward
noticed
for
that.
regular use. It's more awkward. It doesn't feel like any of the other radios out there.
It doesn't.
It's like up and away. It feels so separated and weird on the Traxxas radio.
Yeah. The funny one, the one that I like a lot, is a stupid cheap Fly Sky one. The cheapest one that came with all the red cats.
Mm-hmm.
I like that controller so
Well, even
much. And
two-handed, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I would drive this one one-handed just right for one-handed. The new one is all right, but the feel of it seems weird. It feels like the wheel's out just a little bit too far. So it's like a stretch to get out there.
Well, there's something about keeping everything nice and close right here too that's
Yeah.
just as comfortable.
Right.
But this is weird up here.
Yeah.
I don't mind them even when they're low and out. Like, so the race ones they keep your hands together, but it's out.
Yeah.
Like they stick it out, but they keep your trigger finger in the turning close.
Yeah.
But you can't reach with your thumb because it sticks out with a weird hump.
Yeah.
But it just feels like this hand is like so out there on the Traxxas ones. I've never liked it from day one.
Yeah.
I usually bind them to something else because I can't stand it. So,
Yeah.
and I have a race. I have the DX4R Pro that has that drop down, and that's what I bound most of my Traxxas to. Still didn't give me one-handed, but it was like anything to get away from this and that stupid set button and all the features to just do normal trim stuff for it. Yeah.
That's the only thing that's kind of that I'm not I do, but I don't want to change the transmitter and the ESC on this. Like once Fuertech comes out with one, maybe. And they have one. I mean, obviously you can run any of them on here. I have a Tegu that I was looking at trying to get it to fit in here.
Jeff, look at the M12S. Look at where where the radio is. It's actually sitting over where you you do your finger. It's not up here. The Traxxas one is way up here above where your trigger finger is. The M12S is down here, and so are the 17S and all the newer ones. They're closer. The whole hand thing isn't. It's about keeping things nice and tight.
Mm. What's going on, Shiki?
But you
Tony,
can't two-handed a M12S either. You look like you're feeling it.
I'm out of cough drops.
All right.
So, and talking makes me cough.
All right.
So
well, let's wrap it. I need to go to bed anyway. It's 2 a.m. here.
Yeah.
And I've got a big day tomorrow for getting work stuff done before the holiday.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Nice. Right on.
Good seeing you again, man.
Yeah.
I noticed
missed
your
it.
Instagram was like silent for a week. Yeah.
Yeah. It was bizarre. Like I just wasn't feeling it. I mean, I was sick and then I was just like, nah. I didn't want to post and ghost. So I was like, just not even posting. So we'll see what happens. And if I post again here in the next couple of days, see if anyone notices that I posted. So, but thanks everyone for coming out, sticking with us as I'm coughing through the whole night.
You're pretty good about hitting the button.
Yeah, I had my dump button. I missed it a couple times, but I've been pretty good about it. So Under a Rock said he showed up late. Sorry, brother.
That's all right, man.
Next time. Catch
We're
it on
here
the replay.
Most Tuesdays. Yep.
I'll be here next Tuesday.
Will you guys be safe if you're in unsafe places or it's snowy?
Watch out for your in-laws over this turkey day.
Yes. Don't talk politics. Just eat turkey and go Lions because we need another win.
And USA soccer on Friday.
Yep. But more for the Lions. Because we are against the Bills and to beat them would be amazing and turn our season around. We just beat the Giants, so
yeah.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Go turducken. Back in Madden days.
I have one thing to tell you, Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. Bye, guys.